Does it matter which one?
No, it doesn't matter which one. The knob on the left on that amp controls the black headphones, and the knob on the right controls the white.
Just so we can hear?
Yeah, so you can turn the volume up, and what you're getting is both commentators and the ambient sound.
Yeah, so you'll be able to turn us up.
I can turn you guys up or down.
And down, depending on where we go.
If one of you is louder than the other. Yeah. And just those mics, just hold them that far. Yeah, you don't. That works.
About there?
So you need to be on sync with our time?
No, I've already started the stream.
Okay, cool.
Caitlin, there's some programs in the videos. I would go get you one.
The best charities you could ever wish to donate to, please donate greatly to lifelong volunteers who will be around the ground tonight.
Next week.
Shortly we'll be giving you the two teams.
Oh, not in the way of me. Hopefully the ball's not down there. Yeah, close it out the way if I yeah. Right. Are they going to be in your way too much then? Are Wing going to be in your way too much there?
I mean, you got to be where you got to be, man.
You're not shooting the whole game though, are you? Yeah. Oh, we're shooting the whole thing. Yeah. You're shooting the whole thing? Yeah. So yeah.
Hypothetically, if you move yourself back about 6 inches this way, it's slightly better, and that shouldn't interfere with, like that, if that's alright, that's heaps better. Just, I mean, just 1 second.
It's alright, they haven't got the rights anyway.
No, that's cool, you don't get the way.
So just confirming, this music goes off when they walk out and shake hands, and then we'll turn the
Yeah, thank you for just mentioning that because
One, two, testing, 1, 2, 3. Cool. Well, welcome to McKellar Park and the final of the Westfield FFA Cup qualifying match between Belconnen United and Gungahlin United. I'm Russ Gibbs, the media manager from Capital Football, and with me is Lee Gaskin from the Canberra Times. Lee, two teams here today looking for that coveted place in the round of 32 of the FFA Cup and, of course, the Federation Cup, should they win it today. Yeah, it should be a fantastic game here tonight. I think clearly the two best sides we've seen in the Cup competition so far. Obviously, Belconnen United had the free passage to the quarterfinals after winning the Federation Cup last year, and Gungahlin United, what a great story. Their first season in the National Premier League. Can they do it? Can they get through to the FFA Cup? It'd be a great thing to happen. Well, looking at the two teams, Belconnen first, Adam Parakovic in goal. They're playing with a back four of Cameron Reinhardt, Callum Beaton, Matt Gerbischer and Jack Blackley. Their midfield will be, looks like Taylor Beaton, David Arantz, and David Kemp in there, Goran McKeskey, Jason Ugrinik and Isosa Ihegi up front. Gungahlin with Jason Denham in goal, Alex Moscaratello, Jack Green, Nathan Tidmarsh, and lost to the other one is at the moment at the back there. Can't see who it is alongside him according to my team lineup. Anyway, Nathan Tidmarsh, Stephen Dominici, Regan Walsh, Shane Murray, Daniel Barak, Josh Gaspari and Michael John. Belconnen, for those of you that don't know, are in the blue and Gungahlin are in the white. Gungahlin had a soft start to the season, Lee. They lost a fair few games, but it's fair to say they've come on strong over the last couple of rounds of this competition, knocking out Canberra Olympic and the Tigers. And they'll be probably, you would say, they're possibly the favourites to win this today? Oh, no, I think Belconnen United are probably the favourites. And I think Gungahlin, though, would take a lot of heart out of their performance last Sunday in the Premier League, drawing 2-2 with Belconnen. A great performance there. It's taken them a little while to sort of get some cohesion and some sort of combination there between their new players. But, look, I think it should be a very even grand final. Well, Luke Withels, our referee, Greg Taylor and Adam Powers are his assistants, and Owen Goldrick, the fourth official. And that's the first free kick for a fairly hefty challenge over there on the far side. And Jason Ugrinik will line this one up to take it left-footed and swing it into the penalty area. Belconnen send up the big defenders, Jack Blackley and Matt Gerbischer's in there as well, as you would expect, and the first chance of this final for the Blue Devils. We'll see if Ugrinik can use his dead ball expertise. He swings it in there and Denham comes and collects comfortably. A bit too close to the Gungahlin goalkeeper, and that's easy meat for him this early. Yeah, well, that was. It was a nice sort of delivery there from Ugrinik, but just too close to Denham, and he handled that really easily. Murray sweeps that one forward, looking for Michael John, who comes into the game on a bit of an injury cloud. He had a fitness test just before kickoff, but he seems to have passed that well enough. He told me he was feeling good today. Here's Murray, the Irish midfielder. Moscaratello looking for Dominici, who looks to turn Cam Reinhardt, and he's got a bit of a run on him here, and he's got Moscaratello outside him, but he goes on his own. Plenty of goals in this Gungahlin team. Stephen Dominici was ACT Golden Boot last year. His Gaspari, edge of the penalty area, Barak, and Dominici. Moscaratello, Dominici again, and Murray. Two set pieces from Shane Murray put them here in the 3-1 semi-final win over the Tigers, and the Irish midfielder has been one of the finds of the season. He has been. I just want to talk about Stephen Dominici. We'll go back to the play now. Just into the middle as Dominici comes in. What a great tackle from Matt Gerbischer. But you were saying about Dominici? Yeah, speaking to him last week, he told me he had groin surgery in the off-season. Taking him a little bit of time to get back into it. But look, one of the great strikers we have in the ACT, and a very dangerous player. Yeah, one of plenty that can score goals in this Gungahlin team. Dominici's got 5 this season. Barak also has 5. And Shane Murray has 4. He's going to take this corner. Deadly on the set piece, as we said. He's anything free kick within 25-30 metres will be a danger for them, and he's pretty good at corners as well. As he sends this one towards the far post, the header comes in. It's going to drop back from Wells, and a chance here inside the penalty area, and it's Dominici. It's blocked, and it came out to Regan Walsh, but he couldn't get the shot away. Gaspari will, but it's dipping always over the crossbar. Half a chance there for Gungahlin. Does he get 6 points for that, straight over the crossbar? Wrong game, I think. Cover a bit of everything here at the Canberra Times. Yeah, we do like a little bit of sport, and early chat from Matt Gerbischer. He's had a few words with Luke Withel. He does enjoy a chat, does Matt? I'm surprised that Matt Gerbischer's talking to the official after 3 minutes, so I'm shocked. Lee Gaskin from the Canberra Times here today. Lee, you've been plenty of sport this afternoon, rugby union, now on football. Yeah, it's been a big day. Obviously, the disappointing news that the great takeover at Target passed away overnight, the great Queanbeyan racehorse, and doing a bit on that, and also the Canberra Rugby Union. But this is the big thing, this is the big deal, the FFA Cup qualifiers. It's a game that everyone wants to get into. Playing an A-League team would be fantastic, as did Tuggeranong United last year. Yeah, I'm sure we'll talk about that Tuggeranong story a little bit later on, as Reinhardt takes his throw, looking for the run of Goran McKeskey. But it's a throw in to Belconnen. Early stages of this match, of course, if you just tune in, it's 0-0, Belconnen and Gungahlin. And that's a heavy touch from David Kemp, one of the underrated players in the ACT, David Kemp. And interesting that he's in the midfield three today with Taylor Beaton and David Arantz. And it's probably in that engine room where the game could be won and lost. Barak wins the header. And Gerbischer just volleys it into the penalty area, looking for Ugrinich, but it's cleared by Green. Back from Beaton. And some good defending by Jack Green, the former Belconnen player, one of two. Dustin Wells is the other one. And do you think that gives them any extra motivation if ever they required any, Lee?
I think it gives them a little bit of motivation, but in saying that, Belconnen's a very professional outfit. They've recruited strongly themselves, obviously getting Matt Gerbischer across, the former Canberra FC captain who had initially joined Gungahlin United. So there's storylines on both fronts.
Shooting chance for Kemp, but it was always dipping just a little bit too late from the midfielder. Yeah, interesting story that with Matt Gerbischer. He'd signed for Gungahlin at the start of the season, and then of course there was some financial difficulties with the club, and he decided to make the move from Canberra FC to Gungahlin and then on to Belconnen. So here he is. Either way, he looks like he would have been playing in the final.
Well, that's right. It's a wonderful pick-up for Belconnen United. Matt Gerbischer, regarded as, I suppose, the best central defender we have here in the ACT. He's played for Melbourne Knights. He's had a stint in India as well. So he's well travelled. He's a very experienced campaigner and just the sort of player you want in that back four.
Yeah, alongside Jack Blackley, they formed a pretty solid central defensive partnership. Here's Reinhardt looking to send it forward. Murray will pick this up and just pulls on the back of Cam Reinhardt there, and a free kick to Belconnen. Shane Murray, former Sheffield United player over in the UK, also played for Waterford and Bohemians in Ireland. Understand that his family may be watching us from Ireland, so shout out to the Murray family if they are indeed watching us and watching their boy play in this big final, hoping to get the opportunity to play against an A-League team in the round of 32. Is beaten forward towards Ugrinich. Tackle comes in, but he's going to keep possession and slide the ball to this near side. Here's a chance perhaps for Isose Hegi. He's raw, but he's got a strike on him. It's come back for Kemp. No shooting position for Kemp, so he finds Beaton. Scored a cracker in their semi-final against Tuggeranong. Thought about pulling the trigger, but didn't. Another 1-2 with Mikeski. Tim Marsh goes out there, but Beaton beats him to it and fires it across the middle, and that's good defending from Gungahlin. But Taylor Beaton looking up for it in the early stages.
Yeah, it's been a very great, I suppose, start here in the midfield, hasn't it? Both teams trying to assert their dominance early, and then we get an offside call there. Good chance, I suppose, for Belconnen goes begging a bit there. But look, it's been a tough battle so far, and this is, I suppose, Russ, what we sort of expected to see in this final in the first 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, plenty of talent in this Belconnen side, but if there is a question mark over them, it is in defence out wide. There's been one or two rumblings around town that their fullbacks like to push on and they can get caught on the break. You'd think that'd be something where Belconnen would look to exploit today?
I'm sure they did sort of check it during the week, and they would have obviously studied their game from last Sunday as well, to sort of, to see if those deficiencies can be capitalised on today.
Well, here's Michael John. He was in the Tuggeranong squad in the FFA Cup last year, but couldn't play because his international clearance didn't come through, which is unfortunate for him. Barracks, miscontrol. It's going to fall for Reagan Walsh. Signed from Woden Valley this year, Reagan Walsh, for this new team Gungahlin in the Premier League. These two teams, as Lee alluded to, played last week, drew 2-2. Game of two halves. Belconnen were the dominant side for the opening 45, and Gungahlin came back into the second half. And a substitute, Danny Krakic, with his first touch, who got the equaliser last week. He's been patient this season. Only the 9 appearances, all of them off the bench, so it was nice for him to get a goal for his reward for what's been a good season.
It's great for Claudio Canossa, the coach of Gungahlin, to have someone like Danny Krakic on the bench that he can bring into the second half if they're down a goal, and can sort of know they can rely on him to make an impact. So yeah, great boost for him to get his goal scoring debut off to a great start.
A ranging ball from Murray finds Barak out wide, bit of space for the forward to work in. Blackley's gone across and it's going to come to John. Can he cross into the penalty area? He can. It's a deep one looking for Dominici, but Reinhardt beats him in the air, all 5'4" of him, or whatever Cam Reinhardt might be, and he does well, Cam Reinhardt. And a bit of a shirt pull there for Dominici, who didn't jump for that ball. Interesting.
Yeah, I suppose based on our conversation I had last week with Steve, with his groin injury, and that might have contributed to what there. But that was a great bit of defence there from Cam Reinhardt just to outmuscle Steve Dominici, and it's no mean feat, especially in Cam's, like you said, about probably the best part of 5'5".
Yeah, there's not much of him, but he certainly puts himself around. Here's Ihegi doing the same on Dominici and conceding the free kick right in front of us in his commentary position at McKellar Park, which is the home of Canberra United, of course, in the Westfield W League, and Belconnen United's home ground for PlayStation 4 National Premier League matches.
For those who aren't here, Ross, how are we describing the temperatures here tonight? I suppose for Canberrans it's not a bad night, but I suppose for those who are out of town?
I was born in the UK, Lee. I think it's quite balmy. Probably the T-shirt weather.
Well, I'm from Queensland originally, so I've got icicles forming on my feet as we speak.
Yeah, it's pretty cold, isn't it? It's only going to get colder as well here. Hopefully the football will warm everybody up. As Taylor Beaton swings that one forward. Bit of space for Goran McKeskey to run into, but he's a lone ranger at the moment. There's 5 Gungahlin defenders back, and he'll have to do well to pick out someone in support. And he does. It's a great ball through to Taylor Beaton. What a chance this is. Lifted over Denham, but Murray's back to clear it off the line. Belconnen there with the first real opening of the match. Goran McKeskey's pass found Taylor Beaton's run. He brought it down well, but just couldn't get enough on the chip over Jason Denham. And Gungahlin clear. Out for a throw-in is Beaton. And Blackley. And that's a bit of an aimless ball through to Jason Denham. We'll pick it up in the Gungahlin goal, but Lee, first real opening of the match there, and Taylor Beaton did well to bring it down, but good goalkeeping from Denham to come out and put him off.
Yeah, I think Denham's been a pretty solid addition to this side, obviously coming across from Woden from last season, and that was a really nice touch there from him to show some nice composure to stay on his line and not sort of rush forward and deny that great goal scoring chance there for Taylor Beaton.
Yeah, and good covering as well from Murray to get rid of it when the ball did go past him. Didn't get enough on it, Beaton, but a warning perhaps for Gungahlin.
Yeah, definitely. We've seen a couple of chances for both sides in this first 10 minutes, and it's been physical, it's been tough, especially in the midfield, and I think it's everything that we would have expected, coming to the game tonight.
There's Gerbisher. That's a bit of a heavy touch, and this should be interesting. He goes straight through Murray there. And Gungahlin's bench pretty incensed. Claudio Canosa and Mitch Stevens on their feet down here, not happy with the challenge from Matt Gerbisher, and going head-to-head with Stephen Dominici, who's letting him know he didn't think much of it either, but just looked like a 50-50 that he lost to Murray there.
Yeah, look, we talked about Matt Gerbisher before. He does love the physical challenge. He's not going to hold anything back. And look, I think on that occasion the referee's made the right call. I think a free kick is valid. I don't think that was worth a yellow card. Maybe a quiet word here from Luke Withell to Matt Gerbisher is probably the right thing. But at the same time, you can understand why the Gungahlin coaching staff is very upset at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, Shane Murray integral to their progression into the round of 32 if they're to win today. Obviously, their playmaker. They interestingly played him out of position last week at left back to possibly nullify the threat of Jason Ugrinik out there on the wing. But he's back in his preferred central midfield position today. Maybe that's a few mind games there from Canosa and Stevens last week.
That's an interesting move. Like you said, Murray's so crucial to everything they do in attack. And with the pace of Ugrinik, though, he's had a really a fantastic cup campaign for Belconnen.
Dominici battling with Ehegi, and Ehegi's going to beat him to it. But Dominici comes back and wins the ball. And finds Jack Green, who left-footed. Looks for the chip over the top, and Gerbisher's going to have to defend this, and he does well. They're going to fall for Barak. Looking to shape to cross. Has to go back to Moscaratolo. Nicely worked by Moscaratolo and Barak. McKeskey putting in a good shift to get back there, and he does well there, the number 9, to put a fair bit of pressure on Alex Moscaratolo. He's come from his central forward position to do that bit of defending, and that's the kind of commitment that wins your competitions. Yeah,
fantastic there from Moscaratolo, and to get back and really save his team on that occasion.
So we're 13 minutes in, still no closer to deciding who's going to go through. Interesting, this is the 9th time that Belconnen United have been in the Federation Cup final. Of course, Gungahlin have never played in it before because it's the first time they've been in this competition, and they've won 4 Federation Cups but lost 5 times, so they'll be looking to make it 5 wins today. Their win last year was a little bit tainted in that FC played a bit of an understrength team in a midweek game. There was no FFA Cup place for it last year, and a few wars of words afterwards, wasn't there, Lee?
Yeah, I think there's a bit of confusion, I suppose, and the fact there wasn't any progression there to the FFA Cup, sort of led Canberra FC to play an understrength side with only a few days before their first game of the National Premier League, and look, fair enough, you can't blame them for that. So I suppose Belconnen is a bit of a chance for redemption for them to win it again and to show they're the best team in Canberra and to earn their spot through to the FFA Cup.
Well, so far there's little to choose between them. Moscaratolo with the throw. It's going to break from Murray, who, as Lee alluded to again, was been integral to everything they've done so far. Here he is once more with Dominici. And a throw in to Gungahlin, who incidentally perhaps have the smallest sponsorship logo you've ever seen on the front of that jersey. You can't even read it from here. That little orange.
What are they generating, about $5 income from that? Or?
I'm not entirely sure, but it's a very small piece of sponsorship. Free kick conceded by Reagan Walsh. Almost looks like a second badge, doesn't it? And there's a yellow card for Murray, and he's kicked it straight at him. And the bench incensed once more, not happy that Murray didn't retreat, and McKeskey just kicked it at him. And you think he's bought him a yellow card there?
He's definitely milked that. That's a very smart play there from Gordon McKeskey to get a yellow card on Shane Murray. We talked about how crucial he is to everything Gungahlin is going to do in this game, and Gungahlin coaching staff is very upset at this decision. They are blowing up Deluxe.
Yeah, well, they weren't happy with the foul on Murray 2 minutes ago, which didn't warrant a yellow card. And then in that situation there, like you say, McKeskey's played for that, and he's got him a yellow card. Murray didn't retreat, of course, but it's one of those things, and probably a little bit harsh for the midfielder. And
it's a smart play. I think the referee might have been better, maybe just pulling it back. But look, I think technically it's a yellow card, and technically he's made the right decision.
Yeah, he set his stall out early then with a yellow card in the 15th minute. Murray needs to tread a fine line now as well. He likes to tackle, so he'll have to be on his best behaviour for the rest of this game. Here's Blackley. And a good turn out wide. It's Ugrinnick, who's getting to the byline here, and that's a good piece of defending by Nathan Tidmarsh. And it's a goal kick. So 15 minutes in or so, Lee, and who do you think's edging it so far?
I think Belconnen United's probably had the best chances so far, Russ. So it's been very even in the midfield. A couple of opportunities there, obviously with Taylor Beaton having the best of those. Gungahlin's had their opportunities as well. Obviously, Belconnen had to clear from the line once. So it's probably everything that we expected going into this game. It's been even, it's been physical. Whichever side, I suppose, settles down and holds their composure will probably strike first.
Denham under pressure from Ihegi, and that was a chance perhaps for Belconnen. It's going to break for Arantz, who tries his luck from distance, and fair to say that's not one of his better efforts there from David Arantz. But
he's not going to watch a replay of that goal shot, you'd have to say.
Jason Denham was playing with fire. They're looking at the positions in the respective positions in the National Premier League at the moment. Belconnen on top of the local grade with 20 points, but Gungahlin down in 6th. 3 wins, 3 draws, 3 losses for 12 points. Do you think that's have any bearing on a cup match, Lee?
It probably gives Gungahlin more motivation. The fact that Belconnen knows that even if they don't win this, they still have a good chance of winning some silverware this season.
Yeah, they can get to the FFA Cup, of course, by winning the National Premier League's Championship, which is all the teams from around Australia. More of that in a bit as Kemp brilliantly comes forward, goes past the second challenge. That's a foul by Reagan Walsh. And a free kick again to Belconnen. Yeah, they're saying that they can, if they win the NPL Championship Series at the end of it, like the Metro Stars did from South Australia this year, they've gone straight into the FFA Cup round of 32.
Yeah, that would obviously put them in the cup for next year, though, so I suppose Belconnen would be obviously desperate to get in for this season by winning this competition. Yeah,
it would be a big boon to the club, well, to either club, really, to get through and have everything that comes with it that Tuggeranong got last year. Here's a long throw down the line, and Baraka's got a bit of pace away from the defender here. He's on his own, though. And there's a good piece of sliding defending by Matt Gerbisher to concede the corner. A chance for Murray to jog across and take another set piece. And they'll send Big Jack Green forward for this one. Be ironic if he got the opening goal, wouldn't it, really?
It would be. It would be against his old side. Obviously, one of the two recruits who touched on him and Dustin Wells, but Big Jack Green, I saw him against Tuggeranong a couple of weeks ago get the header that was the only goal in that game. So obviously they'll be trying that again with Shane Murray at this corner.
Well, let's hope we've just queued up a goal, the first of the afternoon.
I usually put the kiss of death on these sort of things, so I'm sorry to all the Gungahlin fans out there if I've just done that.
Well, let's see what Murray can do with this corner. He's swinging, and it's a bit of a near post one this time, and it's cleared by Beaton, and it'll be helped on its way by Mukesky. Sent back in by Nathan Tidmarsh, but agriculturally, and it's going to fall for Dominici, tees one up and strikes it goalward. And it was not a bad effort as well, but Adam Parakovic saw it all the way and comfortably into the breadbasket.
That swung in the air a bit there from Dominici. That was a decent strike from 25 yards out.
Well, interestingly enough, they are playing with the FFA Cup football tonight, which is probably the first time that most of them have seen it, apart from obviously the earlier FA Cup game. So, and it's a little bit different than the local football, so it moves a bit more. It's a really nice ball to strike, as you can see there, as Ihegi comes up.
Does it move as much as the old Jabulani from 2010?
Nothing moves as much as the Jabulani. What a great football.
Oh, that thing would go sideways when you touched it. It was unbelievable.
I'm sure you had one or two shots with it when you were at the old Crimes FC futsal team.
Yeah, when I was running around over in Cape Town as well during the World Cup, having a lash at time to time.
Didn't get in the squad though, unfortunately, Lee.
Yeah, I was a chance to make the New Zealand team, but unfortunately I'm 24th man for that squad.
Here's Gaspari. back heel flick doesn't quite work. It drops to Taylor Beaton. Kemp. And good tackle from Gaspari as well. And that's nice football from Gungahlin on this near side. And muscled out of it, though, is Josh Gaspari, former Canberra Olympic boy. Gungahlin not happy at the moment. They're feeling that a few of these decisions are going against them.
Yeah, obviously had the yellow card against Shane Murray, the tackle from Matt Gerbisher on Murray that went unchecked. And you see every time there's a 50-50 ball and they're not getting it their way, and we see that again.
Yeah, well, that's so say Heggie has caught Nathan Timmarsh pretty late there, and he's going to probably... Well, he's only going to get ticking off.
Gee, I'm a bit surprised about that, Ross.
Yeah, it was very late, wasn't it? I mean, Tidmarsh had played the ball inside, and it was a pretty late effort. I mean, I think he may have been committed to the block, but...
Saying that, Tidmarsh is up and about running around now, so it didn't look like it really inflicted any serious damage on him.
Here's Murray again. Up to Dominici. Does brilliantly to bring it down. But can't keep it in play, and it's a throw to Belconnen.
Yeah, nice one touch there from the former young Socceroo, but just obviously slid it out of bounds.
Is Reinhardt to Grinick, who swap sides and come over to this near side. Swap with Heggie early on. Probably getting no real change out of Nathan Timmarsh, so Jason Grinick's going to have a go at young Alex Moscaratello on this near side, and Heggie is going to try his luck against Timmarsh on the far side. So an early switch there from Dini Grinick, who's got his subs all warming up as well, so maybe it's just to keep warm in his cold conditions halfway through the first half as well. So keeping the blood moving. 20 minutes gone. Belconnen 0, Gungahlin 0 in this Westfield FFA Cup qualifying final. Reinhardt looking for the run of McKeskey, but it's going to break for Gaspari. A chance perhaps for Gungahlin if they can get a shift on here, but the runners are all a bit too central for Gaspari, and he was looking for one of them. He's found John now, who turns. Bit of space out wide. Tidmarsh on the overlap. We spoke about this earlier. He loves to get forward. Nathan Tidmarsh swings it in towards Barrack, who couldn't quite get a touch on it, but the flag was up anyway for offside. But swift break there, and there's an example of the two overlapping fullbacks liking to get forward. Alex Moscaratello's done it a couple of times this side. Now Nathan Tidmarsh has had a go on the far side.
Yeah, some danger signs of Belconnen early with that sort of play. Obviously some nice interplay there between Michael John and who did you say that was on the left side there?
Yeah, Nathan Tidmarsh.
Nathan Tidmarsh, yeah, beautiful play from him there to run down and put that ball through. Obviously offside with the last pass, but look, very dangerous signs there for Belconnen.
Well, they met here in McKellar in round one, and a game that Belconnen won 4-2, but which hinged on the send-off of Liam Walsh, who's on the bench today, for a headbutt on Jason Grinick. When Gungahlin were 2-1 up, as Blackley just clears from Wells. That game was an interesting match, Lee, and it was one, like I said, in the second half, 3 goals, in the end of the first half after that send-off. And you can see, as you can see from today, there's not much in it at all in neither of the games they've played this season.
We're almost halfway through the first half here, Russ, and obviously still scoreless. Couple chances for both teams. It's probably been a fairly even, obviously, first 20, 22, 23 minutes here. And who do you think's, I suppose, in the best position here to, crack the game open?
Well, it's difficult to say. Understandably, both sides have been a little bit wary of what's been happening so far, and they're filling each other out as you'd expect from a cup final. No one wants to make that mistake, but both sides nicely poised. Chances at either end, really. Belconnen have had the best one, but this could go either way, and it also, of course, could go to extra time and penalties if it needs to. As Karakovic sends out into the night sky, and Lukeski shoves Murray out the way and gives away a free kick.
Well, we know all about extra time, don't we, Russ, here in Canberra? We saw that in last year's grand final between Canberra FC and Belconnen.
Yeah, an amazing match which we had the pleasure of calling as well. Ended 3-3 with the last kick of the game, the equalising goal, wasn't it? And when Canberra FC were denied by Belconnen, and Belconnen went on to win that on penalties. They won. In fact, they won the FFA Cup. They won the Federation Cup last year. The grand final, finished runners-up in the league, almost did the treble. Only lost the game down in Cooma, which cost them the title, and were runners-up in the NPL Pre-Season Cup competition as well. So they had a good season last year, the Blue Devils, and look like repeating that feat this year. Here's Wells, who was integral to that last season. Dominici off of Varan's face. And it's not really got out of first gear, really, has it? It's not really kicked off just yet, this match. You expect it to do so at some stage. Here's Gerbisher. And Reinhardt. It's a poor ball from Cameron Reinhardt, and Moscaratello picks it off, and once again it's with Murray.
You can understand, though, that both sides are, going to sit back a little bit, very wary of, obviously not wanting to attack too much and concede that first goal in such a crucial game.
Here's Taylor Beaton, the captain, sweeping the ball over the top. Good run from Grinick if he gets in here, but great piece of defending from Reagan Walsh. And Moscaratello clears up as far as Gaspari and gets it back from the midfielder. Here's Dominici, who just banks it out of the ground for some reason. We got an injury down here on this near side, and a bit of mutual admiration from Dominici and Gerber. Cam Reinhardt, I think, has gone down on the near side. Is it Cam? It looks like it, with a injury of some description. Didn't see what happened there. Did you? Maybe you got caught on the follow through?
No, I was obviously watching the play there and didn't see what happened to Reinhardt. He's obviously down at the moment, in talks obviously with the referee, and we just hope it's not too serious.
Yeah, well, he hasn't made any look like he's moving, and he looks like a substitution early on. Looks like Benjamin Van Meurs is about to come on for Reinhardt, so something's obviously happened to poor Cam Reinhardt, maybe a knee injury or something like that. He looks in a lot of pain, and in the 25th minute, we're going to see Benjamin Van Meurs come onto the field, and that's a bit of a blow for Belconnen. We'll try and get some sort of information for you a bit later on as to what's happened with Cam Reinhardt. It looks like he's holding his groin, so maybe a groin injury or something like that, but Dean Grinick helping him out down the tunnel. And the physiotherapist, Michaela Day, one of the Belconnen women's players, is going to go and check him out and see what the problem is with Cam Reinhardt. But that's disappointing for Cam, the Belconnen fullback, after 25 minutes. And young Ben Van Meurs, interesting character. He's a youngster who signed from Canberra FC last year. Big raps on this young lad, see how he goes. Big moment for him coming into the final to replace the more experienced Reinhardt. Now Arantz has been caught in possession there, and he looked like he fouled Barak, and Gerbischer goes in as well, and the free kick is against Daniel Barak, and that really did look like a foul by David Arantz all over the back of Barak there. And Lou Withell not making any friends with the Gungahlin fans at the moment, Lee. He's not particularly impressed. The Gungahlin bench again. Here's Beaton. Forward to Ehegi and cleared by Jack Green. It's gone to Taylor Beaton, who's dropped into right back at the moment. Right-footed, swings it forward, looking for the run of Ugrinik. But Moscaratello's there, and he heads it out of the danger area to Green, who helps it over the top to Tidmarsh. And Wells is fouled. And a free kick to Gungahlin on the far side. "26 minutes gone of the final. If you just tuned in, it's Belconnen 0, Gungahlin 0 in the Westfield FFA Cup qualifying final in Canberra. The winner goes to the Westfield FA Cup round of 32. And this free kick for Gungahlin will be taken on the left-hand side. And Tidmarsh is behind it. Goes short. Here's Walsh. Moscaratello. And Murray. Gaspari switches play again. Back to where we started with Tidmarsh. And John's come deep. Here's Murray again. Bit of keep ball from Gungahlin, and Lee Gaskin has lost something. Hunting around the commentary box for something or other. Probably your gloves, is it, Lee? It's a bit cold.
It is freezing, Russ.
And here's Murray breaking through. Chance perhaps for Shane Murray into the penalty area. Down he goes. No foul. They're saying he dived, but interesting moment there. Could have easily been a free kick. Looking for that. Barak challenging. And strong defending by Blackley, and it's out for a corner to Gungahlin. You're back, Lee. Did you find what you were looking for?
Not yet, Russ. We'll have a quick look at half-time and see if we can find what was missing just then. But
was it a goal?
It wasn't a goal. I'm hoping to find a goal at some stage. Otherwise, I had to just go for a walk just to warm up, Russ. Almost freezing over here in the commentary box, if we call it that much.
Well, I'm lucky. I've got a moon boot on my broken ankle, so it's quite cosy down there. Everything else is freezing, though. It's a corner, which Murray will take. That's a great corner as well. And Prakovic comes brilliantly taken by the Belconnen goalkeeper. We're talking about the change just a moment ago, Lee. Ben Van Meurs, youngster, on at left back now for the more experienced Reinhardt. I'll just bring you in on that in just a second as Denham clears that up the field. It's a huge kick as well, and it's going to go straight through.
Nice touch finder there from Jason Denham. There's a bit of rugby.
The old 40-20.
We have the Brumbies playing overnight. He's channeling the Brumbies, I suppose, a bit of Jesse Mogg there with the long clearance.
So what's your thoughts on this Van Meur's change? Obviously a youngster coming on for a more experienced player, and big moment for him.
It's a massive test for him, but we saw when he debuted with Canberra FC last season that Ben Van Meur's has a lot of potential, a lot of talent. I know he's been working with former Soccerer Andy Burnell very closely, and Andy's got huge raps on Ben as well, so it'd be great to see how he handles himself for the next 60 minutes or so.
Yeah, only a youngster, but a good athletic physique on him, and he looks like he can get up and down this touchline, and I'm sure he'll have his work cut out against Dominici and Barak and the Gungahlin front line. Here's Ehegi. That's a great ball looking for Taylor Beaton on the edge of the penalty area, but he's bundled out of it by Jack Green. Now Murray and John. And there's a tester for Gerbischer, but he should be all the way behind this through to Adam Parakovic. Blackley and Arans. Half an hour gone and nothing to choose between it, Lee.
No, very close for us. Obviously 0-0. Very tough physical game. Couple of chances for both sides. Obviously we saw the one key substitution there with Ben Van Meur's coming on. But look, it's hard to pick a team that's had the edge at this stage, and it's the game that we probably were expecting coming into it.
Dominici. And now Dustin Wells. He's been a bit quiet early on. We need to see more of him in the game for Gungahlin. But he's being kept marshalled very well by very strong Belconnen midfield. Here's Dominici. Good tracking back again by Goran Mukeski, who's had a great start to this match. Here's Gaspari. Thought about it. Instead goes wide to Tim Marsh, who looked to take on Blackley, who again has had a decent start to this match and very strong defensively. Tries to get away. And Tim Marsh does well to get into the penalty area, but it's cleared by David Arans. And Jack Blackley's had a good season for Belconnen United, and he started this final really well as well. Yeah,
I think both back fours at the moment have really stamped their dominance on it right now, haven't they? We've both back fours are very strong, very imposing. It's going to be hard to sort of get a goal at either of these two teams.
Well, this is the first chance to see a fairly long throw from Tim Marsh into the penalty area. Flicked on by Barak and Ehegi, only as far as Michael John, who hits it goalward, but he didn't get enough of it. And he pulled up a little bit there, Michael John. Bit of a limp on. And that'd be a bit worrying for Gungahlin. But if you were a betting man, Lee, and I know you are.
That's overly rubbish, Russ. Never been on sport in my life.
Who would you be edging towards at the moment? It's a difficult one, isn't it?
It's very tough. Coming into this game, I thought Belconnen, but we're seeing Gungahlin on the charge right now.
As Wells looks for John on the far post, and it's a chance perhaps for Michael John, because Parakovic came, Beaton took control of it for him. The dancing feet of Michael John. Here's Gaspari. Might try his luck from range. He does, but it drifts wide of goal. Another shooting effort from Gungahlin. And earlier on, we saw Adam Parakovic come for a couple of balls and win them quite comfortably. That time he didn't get to it, but it was dealt with comfortably by Callum Beaton out there.
Yeah, I've been impressed with Parakovic this season. Obviously coming across another one of those guys from Canberra FC from last year. And, I think the goalkeeper was obviously something that Belconnen, last season had a really good keeper as well. So for him to come in and do the job that he's done so far has been very impressive.
Well, he had a season obviously with Queanbeyan City in the Capital League in between times, and it's a big step up to come from that level to this level. But as you said, he's had a Premier League experience before, so he's Ehegi, brilliant run this is, and stopped by a combination of Moscatello and Murray. Probably the most influential player on the field so far, Shane Murray. They get the ball to him as often as they can, Gungahlin, and he dictates play almost like a quarterback in that role, the Andrea Pirlo kind of distribution.
You can see why, can't you? He's been, like you said, been involved in everything. Obviously, he's got that yellow card in a bit of, I suppose, controversial circumstances so far. But I think in the first 30 minutes, he's definitely had the most impact of anyone out on the field.
Yeah, we'll ask you for a man of the match towards the end of this, Lee, and so keep that in mind. Shane Murray putting his hand up early on, but so one or two others. Here's Dominici. Very physically manhandling Dominici there, aren't they? They're like not giving him any time to get the ball down and use his magic feet. And the same can be said for Belconnen. Reagan Walsh all over the back of Jason Ugrinik.
Well, that would have been one of the keys. I suppose both teams would have talked about that. Dominici and Ugrinik are so dangerous when they have just the slightest bit of space to work in. So, both defences would have been told to be on alert, to be on their toes, and to be a bit physical at times as well.
Here's Beaton. This is Callum Beaton. It's a long ball forward, but easily picked out by Gungahlin. Again, becoming a little bit more stretched in the last few minutes. Here's Wells. Looking for the run of Barak, and he's going to get there first. Parakovic decided to stay, and Gerbish has gone with him. Barak. Dominici lets that one go through to Murray. who's pressured by Jason Ugrinik, and Ugrinik half won the ball, but it's back to Murray again, who left-footed, bends one at goal, and Prakovic spills it. But there's no one following up, and a warning sign for Belconnen Murray on that dangerous left foot.
That left foot of Shane Murray is an absolute lethal weapon, isn't it? You should get that sort of registered with the with the gun lobby or something. That is a great weapon there to have. We just saw the smallest bit of space there and unleashed a bullet, and great work from Adam Prakovic to clean up.
Yeah, you can see why he had spells overseas with some top clubs. Maybe wanting to make his way towards the A-League. He's only 23, so opportunity perhaps for Shane Murray, if anybody's watching this and like the look of the midfielder.
Well, obviously the FFA Cup, Russ, it's a great platform for players to showcase their talents to A-League clubs. Obviously the winner of this goes on to the round of 32, the chance to play an A-League team, and obviously games then are broadcast on Fox Sports, and we've seen guys do that, and obviously, hopefully if Shane Murray can help Gungahlin to win this game, then he might be able to get noticed himself.
Yeah, we had a massive crowd here in Canberra last year, 5,150 for the Tuggeranong versus Melbourne Victory FA Cup game. Quite a night there. Lee was involved, I was involved, and a good night all round. And this is what these clubs are playing for, is to be part of that.
I suppose ultimately, it turned out that Melbourne Victory, won the A-League this season. So, we saw the likes of, Bessart Barisha, Archie Thompson, and, Canberra's own Socceroo Carl Valeri back in town. So that was just a magnificent night. Great to see more than 5,000 people down at Viking Park, and, put Canberra football and Tuggeranong United on the map.
Well, neither of these sides are any closer to finding out who will be taking part in the Westfield FFA Cup round of 32. 10 minutes to half-time. It's still 0-0 at McKellar Park. Chances at both ends. Here's Gerbischer. Arans. Pocket of space in which to work for the midfielder. But no forward movement, so he's going to have to come back to his skipper, Taylor Beaton. Gerbischer. Looks like two really well-organised defences out there at the moment. Here's Arans. Space perhaps for him. He's lining one up from distance, but that's always heading away from goal. And David Arans hasn't scored a goal this season. And
you can probably see why. I think he took the 3-iron when he only needed the pitching wedge for that one. That is still going. That's towards the Belconnen United Soccer Club.
Well, David Arans has got a lot of qualities, but I think Gungahlin would be happy if they see it's him lining those ones up from distance rather than someone like Goran McKeskey or, Jason Ugrinik or David Kemp or someone who's got a few goals this season. Their leading scorer is Jason Ugrinik with 7, 1 in the cup, in their cup run, 6 in the league. And David Kemp's, interestingly enough, their leading cup goal scorer with 2. Daniel Barrack and Shane Murray, 3 cup goals apiece. And the leading cup goal scorer in Canberra, Lee, is Zach Munster from Tuggeranong, who scored the goal in Hobart last year. He scored 5 in the cup this year. And young striker by the name of Lady Yinka Kahine from ANUFC in the Capital League. A lot of raps on him as well. He's a very pacey striker. He scored a goal against Belconnen, in fact, in the FA Cup earlier this year.
I saw that game, and he was fantastic. Scored after, I think it was about 10 minutes or so. Had a couple of other coaches comment to me they couldn't believe that he wasn't in the Premier League setup somewhere, and I think if he does stick around in Canberra next year, there'll definitely be clubs after his services. Yeah,
10 league goals this season for him and 5 in the FFA Cup. So when you're looking for a goal, that's the kind of player you want. 15 goals already this season, and probably plenty more to come from him in a very strong ANU Capital League team. Here's Arans, dawdling on the ball, and Barrack's going to take it off him. Perhaps a chance if Belconnen can shift it quickly through Wells. Space on this near side for Dominici, and there goes McKeskey again. He's putting in a shift tonight, Goran McKeskey. Getting around the park. Here's Moscaratello. Now Wells immediately ambushed by 2 Belconnen defenders. And Van Meurs clears beautifully up the line to Heggie. Great control from Isosa Heggie. Off he goes on a run and brought down by Reagan Walsh. That's his second foul, and he's lucky to get away with that one, you'd think. No card for Reagan Walsh. Second time he's brought someone down like that.
He's very dangerous, Heggie, isn't he? Whenever he gets the ball, shows a bit of pace over the first 5 or 10 metres, and he's really causing some headaches for these Gungahlin United defenders.
Well, Dean Ugrinik gave him his head this year. He was in the under-20s last year and under-18s, scoring plenty of goals, and they've brought him into first grade this year and given him a chance, and he's not let them down, like I say, with 4 goals in the league already this season. So free kick is a bit flat and headed clear. Back in by Beaton. Gaspari away again. John brings it under control. No real support for him, and hustled out of it straight away. Very physical challenge again. 1 or 2 of those flying in at the moment. It's Tidmarsh. Barak uses his body well, and you can see he's played at a bit of a level, Daniel Barak. You can see that just by the way he conducts himself on the field. Handful for the defenders.
Yeah, had a stint with Western Sydney Wanderers in their youth team. Came back, played for Canberra Olympic, and another really big signing for Gungahlin to get someone of his structure, size and force up front. It's really a great signing.
Well, sorry, Lee there he was knocking the ball down, looking for Dominici, but yeah, they've definitely gone around they went around the grounds at the start of the season, and they took a few players from clubs, managed to attract them across to Gungahlin, put the cat amongst the pigeons, so to speak, in the local football scene, and certainly forced a few clubs to reevaluate where they were going this season and what they needed to do. And fair play to Gungahlin for doing that, but it left a sour taste for quite a few clubs, didn't it?
It did. They weren't afraid to set their goals very high. They wanted to make an impact in their first season. Obviously, getting a coach of Claudio Canossa from Sydney made a big statement for them, and signing the likes of Stephen Dominici, Dustin Wells, and Daniel Barrett really showed their sort of intentions to make the FFA Cup and also do really well in the league.
There's Dominici, one of those big signings. Gaspari. Took them a while to gel, as we said earlier, but they're certainly coming on strong towards the mid and latter half of their season. Here's Murray. Gaspari again. Now Barak. Nice little triangles, but not really going anywhere at the moment, Gungahlin. Here's Moscaratole. Gaspari again, and good hassling from Belconnen, not letting them settle on the ball. Here's Van Meurs. Dinks it forward. Murray wins it though. Barak. Now some space backs for Josh Gaspari, who slides a ball in, looking for the run of Michael John, but he didn't go, and Belconnen clear comfortably. Here's Mukeski. Playing in a sort of a false nine position, Goran Mukeski. He's not been the target that we expected at the start of the game. He's dropping in left and right and coming out and doing a hell of a lot of work.
He's sort of everywhere, isn't he? We're seeing him sort of sit on the left there at the moment. But obviously with Jason Ugrinik up front, they're playing to Mukeski a fair bit. He's all over the ground, getting the ball, just getting involved for Belconnen and making sure that they're controlling play.
But we still wait that breakthrough. 4 minutes to half-time, there's no goals. Chances, not good ones, but there was one or two half chances in this first half. Barak flicks it down. Chance perhaps here, a bit of space for Barak to go at Jack Blackley, but Jack Blackley used his strength again. Another superb piece of defending by Jack Blackley, talking about players who've had an influence on the first half. Jack Blackley certainly has at the back for Belconnen.
Yeah, I think both sets of defenders have played really well, not giving the opposition attackers not much room to move in. We talked about obviously Dominici and Jason Ugrinik, how closely they've been marked in this first 40 minutes, and I suppose that's been a key reason why we haven't seen any goals.
Well, a couple of minutes to half-time, and we haven't looked like getting an opener at the moment, Lee, so if you've got any plans later on this evening, you might want to postpone them.
Can you wake me up soon? Has anything happened in the first 40?
Been a few chances. It's not been a bad game of football. It's as you said, it's been a cup final which we expected. It's two teams who know what's at stake, not just the silverware, but a place on the national stage, and that, of course, is always going to make it a match not flush with goals. But you never know, we might get a few in the second half or one just before the interval. A crucial time to score a goal, if indeed there's to be one. Decent crowd here as well. The main grandstand here is pretty full.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with the turnout, given it's probably in low single digits at the moment, maybe around 4 to 5 degrees here in Canberra. Gloves are out, beanies, hot coffee everywhere. It's definitely a night for the diehards.
I guess when the alternative is watching it online and listening to us, you probably get a fair few people deciding to come down to Mackellar, isn't it?
Absolutely correct, Russ.
Well, the people that are here and the people that are watching online are watching a reasonable cup tie so far. Two sides that are pretty evenly matched, like we said earlier on. Belconnen won the first game here, but it was, again, hinged on a red card just before half-time. And the match last weekend, evenly fought at 2-2. Here's Barak, brings it down, knocks it on to Wells, rather, and Gerbischer has him in his pocket. Solid first half from Matty Gerbischer, exactly everything that Belconnen would have wanted from their star centre-back, and he's off on a bit of a Rio Ferdinand-esque run here towards Mukeski. Space out wide for perhaps a cross for Ihegi. Swings it into penalty area. Here comes Ugrinik to win the header, but he couldn't get enough on it. Good piece of defending, tracking back from Josh Gaspari to just put him off, and the ball loops into the hands of Jason Denham.
Yeah, another great chance there for Belconnen. The cross, like you said, just a little bit too high. Gaspari did well though to come back. Just watch where Ugrinik is making his run.
At the other end, his Barak Wells has made a good run, but Barak either didn't see him or ignored it. His Gaspari goes past a couple of challenges. Wells, they'd like to get Dustin Wells a bit closer to goal, I think, so he could use that wand of a left foot as well. Here's Murray.
We haven't seen Wells involved much in the first half for us.
Not yet, I think. Drifting in and out of the game. Here's Ugrinik. Allowed to turn and send that ball forward, but there's no one there, and Reagan Walsh can go and get himself a coffee by the time the Belconnen forwards get up there.
That was a bit of a sign. I think Belconnen are just looking for half-time now, and Gungahlin might be a bit the same here. Chance to get to the sheds, talk to both coaches, but saying that, Jason Denham has to hurry to get his clearance out there.
They did well in the end, and Moscaratella does too. That's probably a push on the back of Josh Gaspari by David Arans. In the shadows of half-time, we're going to get probably a minute or so of stoppage time. Shane Murray will take this free kick.
We did have the injury to Cam Reinhardt, so might get maybe another minute or two there to play through.
Yeah, poor Cam Reinhardt. We will find out what happened to him at half-time as the Barak tries to win the header. It's out of play. So not a huge amount for the crowd to cheer about at the moment, but an intriguing battle nonetheless. And in the second half, we'll start looking at the possible substitutions that both teams could make to make a difference in this one and where it can be won and lost. So you'll have time to go and make a cup of tea or whatever your drink of choice might be on a Saturday night. Might be something a bit stronger. And come back and watch the second half. And if you're watching overseas, thanks for tuning in at whatever time it might be. Here's McKeskey. We hope to bring you a goal or two as this progressed. It's Gerbischer. Blackley to Beaton. And Taylor Beaton's right foot ball looking for Ugrinik, but Moscaratella's read it well again. But his header is going to fall for the Blue Devils winger. And perhaps a chance, one last chance before the break. Little 1-2, and here goes Jason Ugrinik. It's going to run just a bit too far for him, and it's out of play for a goal kick. We've had a minute and a half or so of stoppage time. Still no goals. And you think both coaches will be fairly satisfied with what they've seen, Lee?
I think so, Russ. I think obviously they would have come into the game obviously very keen not to concede in the first 20 to 30 minutes, and obviously that's happened. There was a bit of fire in the first, say, 10 to 15. After that, it's settled down a little bit as both sides just trying to control the midfield. Obviously, they'd both be keen to get some more attacking chances in the second half.
Silky skills from Manny Gerbischer, nutmegging the futsal international Stephen Dominici and ending the half. And look at Manny Gerbischer on his hands and knees, crawls through Stephen Dominici's legs. Nice end to the heart. I mean, I don't know if they caught that on our camera, but Matt Gerbischer nutmegged Steve Dominici just in front of us here, and as the halftime whistle went, he dropped to his tall fours and crawled between Stephen Dominici's legs. The good rapport between those two. But Lee, sum up the first half for us.
A couple of chances from both sides, Russ, but overall, I suppose a pretty dour first 45. What we sort of expected coming into it, both sides knowing there's a lot on the line, not wanting to concede early on. Hopefully it does open up for more chances in the second half.
Yeah, we have a 15-minute break now for half-time. The half-time score in the Westfield FFA Cup qualifying final here at McKellar Park in Belconnen is Belconnen United 0, Gungahlin United 0.
Tough time, man. I've got to go water. Get half the burger you said is now. Pretty good. Hey, it's Russ, mate. Can you block scoreboard down at 45? You know, you can either go up and down or minutes. Just to set it up for 45, so the second half is just resonate. So if you see the minute start, just press it down one and just go down to 45. Yeah, and then the second, if you press it up 10 times, you can just press up. Keep going until it goes to up and then it goes 0. There you go, then you start second half, you just press start, you go 45, go 1, 2, 3. He did hold a ball up, I didn't see a ball, so... as soon as the team's come out and say that, you'll go back out. Just as soon as they come out. I'll make sure you come back out again. Find a Belconnen official to find out what happened to Captain Reinhardt, the defender that went off injured, just to see if we can find out what injury it was so we can assess. I think it was his groin. You can't see because of the sign. If the sign, so the sign's too sort. And I just had a message saying that the mics were on at half time. They could still hear us, so I turned them off.
to get from the penalty spot. We need to get a winner because the winner tonight will be represented in the Westfield FFA Cup round of 32.
So here we are back at McKellar Park for the second half of the Westfield FFA Cup qualifying final between Belconnen and Gungahlin. No score in the first half if you just tuned in. Yellow card to Shane Murray was probably the main talking point. A couple of half chances for both teams, and one substitution, Benjamin Banyers, coming on for Cam Reinhardt after about 25 minutes. We're still waiting to see what the injury was to Cam Reinhardt. We've got someone down there in the tunnel checking it out. No changes at the break, so as we were, it looks like at the moment for both teams. And Lee, 45 minutes to find a winner. If not, we'll go to extra time and penalties.
It's so cold, Russ. I don't really want to go to extra time and penalties. I know it would make a fantastic occasion and really build up the game as a spectacle, but look, if I could just tell both teams, someone score a goal, let me get out of the cold, let me get inside the warm, and let's get a goal to really open up this game in the second 45.
Yeah, Gungahlin felt that they had the rough end of the stick in the first half of a couple of refereeing decisions, especially the card for Murray and no card for a couple of Belconnen players. But in the main, the refereeing's been pretty good, I think.
Yeah, I think overall both teams can't have much to complain about. Obviously, like you said, Gungahlin were blown up a little bit with the decision against Shane Murray. He would have to be obviously very cautious in the second half not to pick up his second yellow card. He's such a key contributor to everything Gungahlin does in attack.
So can we find a winner in 45 minutes, or will we go to extra time and the drama of penalties? Remember, the winner of this competition tonight gets the Federation Cup and the priceless place in the round of 32 of the Westfield FFA Cup. Is Blackley. Belconnen perhaps feeling it's their spot that they should have had last year, so they'll be doubly determined to get in there, but what a story it would be for Gungahlin as well. So either way, we're going to have a nice little story for whoever gets into this round of 32 and does what Tuggeranong United did last year. And understand their skipper Tim Stewart is watching online today. He'd probably love to be out there with his team, but they were beaten in the semi. Now that he's signed for Monero Panthers, they were beaten earlier in the competition by his old club Tuggeranong, who went out to Belco in the semis. So
yeah, full credit to Tuggeranong for how they performed in the Cup this year. They've had another tough campaign in the league, obviously yet to win a game in that competition, but look, for them to make it through to the semi-finals after what they did last year was fantastic, and they really gave Belconnen a run for its money in that semi-final as well.
They certainly did, and it's a second half at the moment. The Belconnen on the attack first off. They've got a corner out of it, and the chance perhaps to send the big men forward once again. Blackley and Gerbischer trot up there, hoping to get on the end of this delivery. Half a chance then in the start of the second half for Belconnen. As it comes in and it's cleared, only as far as Ugrinnik, who takes a touch under the challenge. As it's cleared again out towards halfway. We're hearing that Cam Reinhardt got a left abductor tear, which is going to put him out for a fairly long time. That's not what we like to hear, is it?
Yeah, especially, obviously for Cam Reinhardt himself, but also for Belconnen United. He's such a vital part of everything they do in defence. He's such an experienced contributor, and, hopefully for them that they can get him back on the field to play some other part this season.
Well, he's Beaton at the back. It's Callum Beaton. Looks much like his brother, doesn't he? With the beard and just a little bit longer hair. This is Taylor Beaton, the skipper. Heggie, great turn from Associate Heggie, off on one of those rangy runs. And sliding the ball out towards Makewski. He can shoot a ball right-footed, and he does, bends it goalwards, and Denham has to dive to his left to parry that away because he'd have thrown him. But good move from Associate Heggie.
Yeah, I was going to say it was a great shot, but I think Heggie really set that play up. Like I said, he's been doing that all night so far. Obviously no reward yet for Belconnen for those sort of runs that he's been making, but he's proven very dangerous.
Hard to credit, he's still a teenager. That's his ball in towards Ugrinnik in the penalty area. Always a danger when this boy's got it. Volley clear by Gaspari up towards the halfway line. Well, Mears brings it down, but his layoff is a bit weak, and it's going to be picked up by Barach, who finds Wells, but along comes Arans to win the ball. Dominici, bit of space in which to work for the former Tiger. And Barak is bundled out of play, but Lee, so early signs in the second half, but not a lot happening.
No, pretty similar to what we saw before the break, Russ, isn't it? You know, I think both teams obviously still pretty cautious, trying to get their way into this game, and we've seen both, both attackers have had opportunities. We saw Heggie before creating some magic there with the way he's running the ball, really taking on defenders. And a bit of an opportunity here, but cleaned up by the Belconnen defence once again.
Yeah, it's out for a throw-in. And while we do, shout out to Greg Stone, who's watching us online. Big football fan, Greg. He couldn't make it out here this evening, unfortunately. Probably a bit too cold for him. He is a bit of a soft lad sometimes. But he's missing a decent match, but at least he's watching online, and understand there's a fair few people tuned in to watch us, so let's hope we can bring you a goal or two in this second half.
Have we hit double figures so far?
I think there's loads now.
Oh, okay. Fantastic.
I mean, there's nothing else on the telly tonight, is there? I think it's My Kitchen Rules final. Is that on tonight? I don't know. Is that tomorrow?
Yeah, I think there was like a GWS North Melbourne game. It's not really a big seller, though, is it?
Not really.
No.
No.
Bit of Super Rugby semi-final action.
There's a ball forward. Heggie tries to bring that down, and Denham gets control of it comfortably, but the flag was up for offside. And Gungahlin looking to inject a bit of pace and tempo into it, and that's a good ball from Gaspari out here to Tidmarsh, who's bursting forward. Chance here. Michael John goes outside him. It's a fairly heavy pass for Michael John to chase, but he's got the legs to get there and tries to go past Blackley, but Jack Blackley stands his ground again. Gaspari, it's a bit of a heavy touch, and Jason Ugrinik comes across, but luckily for Gungahlin, Gaspari got away with that. But impressed with Jason Ugrinik tonight, and Goran McKeskey, they certainly worked really hard.
I was impressed that Ugrinik got up from that hit. That was a fair hip and shoulder there from Josh Gaspari.
Yeah,
really left nothing in the tank. I probably saw those sort of hits across at Canberra Stadium earlier when the Raiders took on the Cowboys. But yeah, good effort for Ugrinik getting up. He's been in fantastic form for Belconnen, basically scoring at will in the FFA Cup this year. So he's a player to really watch in this last 40 minutes.
Well, we need to find a goal, and hopefully there will be one coming at some stage. Well, we need to find a winner. There will be one. Definitely this evening, whether it be the blue of Gungahlin or the blue of Belconnen or the white of Gungahlin.
There's been a couple of players that have moved clubs, Russ, but you can't get that confused.
I'm easily confused these days. That looks like it's a foul, and David Arandis, I think that is over there, not happy with Adam Powers on the far side, but it was right in front of the linesman, so he had no choice to give that.
As long as you didn't say it was a red of Manchester United, then I would have to question your eyesight. But you've got it. You got blue and white. You got those correct.
Yeah, talking of soft, what about the linesman on this near side, Greg Taylor, with a pair of gloves on out there?
He's got to lose his spot off the umpiring committee, doesn't he, with that sort of commitment? Come
on,
on,
Greg.
We're not into the minuses yet, are we? We're only about 4 or 5 degrees.
Well, it's getting there, isn't it? It's getting colder and colder. This microphone's going to stick into our hands before too long. Anyway, free kick to Gungahlin. Shane Murray's going to deal with this, right-footed. It's a good one too, and Parakovic came and missed it, and Luke Withell decides that there was a foul on the Belconnen goalkeeper, rather fortuitously for Adam Parakovic, I think, in that instance.
Yeah, a bit lucky, I've got to say. I don't think he handled that ball at all well. We have commended both Parakovic and Jason Denham tonight, but that was the one occasion so far where he probably fluffed his lines a little bit.
Fairly hefty kick on the keeper, though, and he sends it up. Green watches it all the way there. This midfield duel, here's Kemp, quietly going about his work as he always does. Michael John does really well to bring that down. And Gaspari shows great feet to find Tidmarsh, and what a tackle that is from Associate Heggie, but Luke Withers brought it back for a foul on Josh Gaspari. But it's noticeable how hard the front three of both teams work off the ball to win the ball back, and any youngsters out there that are watching that want to play top level NPL in Canberra or go further, you need to work, and this just shows you the value of it.
Yeah, and I think we will talk about, I suppose, the longer this game stays scoreless, what might happen in terms of substitutions, purely based on what we were talking about there with, both front threes really working back hard, helping out their defenders and getting back and doing their defensive duties, and not just thinking about finding the back of the net themselves. Yeah,
well, looking at the substitutes that are available for Belconnen, Matt Valeri is a utility player. He's gone up front many times, the brother of Carl and the Valeri family. Very famous in Canberra footballing circles. Other than that, though, they have Conor Nolan, a defensive midfielder, and a goalkeeper. So not much in the way of forward options on the bench apart from Valeri, who's a decent option, I guess. And Gungahlin, they've got Danny Krakic, who's an out-and-out striker. Jeremy Habtemariam, who can play anywhere out on the wing or in the centre of midfield. He's a skillful player. Liam Walsh, who's a screening midfielder. And Hassan Kamari is a central defender. So you'd think it'd be Valeri or someone like Krakic or Habtemariam to come on for Gungahlin to make that difference.
I'm probably a bit surprised with the makeup of that Belconnen bench, not having a striker there ready to go. Like you said, Matt Valeri has played a bit there before, probably more known as a midfielder.
Yeah, well, they had Donna Gapare down originally, but he pulled out yesterday with a stomach virus. As the ball's coming in, that's a shot from Ugrinik. It's been blocked. We'll just come back to that in a moment as Van Meurs looks to loft it forward, out wide to Goran Mukeski, who I'm told also had a bit of a stomach virus this week as well. So he possibly got that off Gapare at training or something.
Something going around the club.
Yeah,
Probably not the thing you want the week before an FFA Cup final. And like Danny Gapare, he's been a great addition as well. You know, very lively up front and would have been a opponent's weapon to bring off the bench for the final half an hour or so.
Yeah, I mean, there's an argument to say that he probably would have started the match as well. But poor Danny Gapare, he's sat in the stands. I've seen him around here today, so we wish him a swift recovery. Hopefully he's not bringing his virus and bug around to everybody that's here. Otherwise there'll be a lot of people off work in Canberra on Monday. As Denham punches that away, it's going to come for Beaton, who tries the superstar effort, but it didn't connect. A bit of an aerial ping-pong as it falls towards Ugrinik. He's got a decent left foot, and that was blocked by Reagan Walsh, who twice goes up, and Arantz clatters him in the middle of the field, and Reagan Walsh is still down. And Claudio Canosa's not happy with that, but the ball's broken from Murray, so the Irishman wins the throw-in on this near side. He wants to get on with it quickly. He's looking for a run, and he's going to find Barak in the channel. Belconnen switched off for a little bit there. And he's a bit isolated though, Daniel Barak, so he does well to win a throw right down in the corner. But once again, Canosa and Stevens not happy with the challenge that went in on Reagan Walsh from David Arantz.
Yeah, David Arantz, a very experienced competitor. You know, played a lot of games around Canberra for Belconnen United, one of the club stalwarts, and you know those sort of challenges, very physical. That's what he's known for, and they're the sort of plays that he makes for his team to make an impact on the game. Yeah,
it looked like a 50-50 really, didn't it? There was just two players very much going for the ball, and it's a hell of a throw that's gone in there from Tim Marsh again. Great skill from Ihegi, and Murray pulls him back, and he's got to be a bit careful, Shane Murray, as Gaspari wins the ball with a sensational tackle. Chance perhaps for Gungahlin to break, but the ball's running away from Gaspari all the time. Here's Michael John. Beaton goes across to get involved, and so does Arantz, and that time that is a foul. An arm to the throat of Michael John, and Claudio Canosa trying to get the Gungahlin fans riled up here.
He's a conductor, isn't he? He's really getting them into it, just sort of turn to the crowd and getting his arms in there and really wanting to get vocal and give it to the team, give it to the referees, give it to everyone, really. He's quite the entertainer, Claudio Canosa. It's probably our version of Josip Gombau.
He's very communicative, I would say, on the sideline to the officials. Likes to get his point across. Here's Murray with a free kick. It's swept in there and headed clear by Beaton. Is going to drop for Gaspari, and Ihegi will go across to try and do as much damage as he can, and that's a decent tackle as well from Isose Ihegi. Brilliant from the youngster. Superb stuff from Isose Ihegi. Still going and finds Mukeski. Playing really deep, and he is playing, as you said, as that false nine, which doesn't leave them much outlet up front, does it?
I think if we're talking about players of the match and it's still early on, I think Isose Ihegi would have to be high up in my rankings. He's been outstanding out wide there for Belconnen so far in this game.
Blackley and Dominici with a battle here in a two-handed push. Sorry, by Barak it was. Here's Arantz. Now Gerbischer. Sweeps it wide, looking to start an attack with Benjamin Van Meurs. Back to Gerbischer again and Beaton. Quiet has just suddenly come over the ground, a bit of a lull as Blackley brings it forward. Here's Callum Beaton. For those football fans out there was a result in the National Premier Leagues today. FFA Centre of Excellence beat Tuggeranong United 5-3. Tuggeranong were 2-0 up in that game, and FFA came back to win that one. Keeps them within the cusp of the top four in the finals race.
Very good this season, the FFA, haven't they? Obviously, that's the bulk of Australia's under-17 squad that's going to the World Cup this year in Chile. I think Tony Vimam's very pleased with their performances so far, and I think they're in the top four, Russ, and they could even contend for the league championship.
Yeah, they can't make the finals itself. As the ball comes in, here's Ihegi, and they can't make the finals, but they could certainly finish in the top four and win the league championship. So They're not allowed to make the finals under the conditions of entry into the NPL, but they've certainly got a decent squad. And poor old Tuggeranong, though, 10 games without win so far this season. They're getting closer, though.
They're getting closer. You know, we have seen their performances get better and better each week, and it was going to be hard for them to back up their, I suppose, their great performance last year to make the round of 16 of the FFA Cup. But look, Steve Forshaw's got a very young and talented squad there at Tuggeranong, and they're working on a bright future there at the club.
And tomorrow, Kuma Tigers, or Tigers FC as they're now known, play host to Monero Panthers. That's the only other game this weekend. Canberra FC, shout out to them. They're overseas in Croatia, competing in the International Croatian Tournament in Zagreb, I think it is at the moment. They've drawn a team from Sweden, Germany and Switzerland. So good luck to them as well. And also to Actas, who won 2 and lost 2 in the Manchester United Premier Cup in Sydney so far today. That's a yellow card for Taylor Beaton, to some ironic cheers from the Gungahlin fans. And a substitution down below us as well, Lee, as Connor Nolan looks like he's going to come on for Belconnen. That yellow card, they think, was a little bit overdue, some of these fans here. Lee?
Yeah, it seems to be most of the decisions have gone against Gungahlin so far, Russ. There's probably not too many of them that I can complain about, but obviously we're seeing Claudio Canossa be very, sort of appeal to the crowd, and obviously was very satisfied with that decision right there.
Well, Connor Nolan comes on for David Aranz. Aranz has put in an hour's worth of work, his usual combative self. And Connor Nolan, a screening midfielder, another one that came from Woden Valley, across with Reagan Walsh. He slots into a defensive role at the moment to defend this free kick, which Shane Murray is over once again. And that right foot chips in. It's a good-looking one towards towards Green, who wins the header, but can't get enough on it, and it goes wide. So we've had an hour's play in the Westfield FFA Cup qualifying final. It's Belconnen United 0, Gungahlin United 0. Still waiting for that breakthrough goal, one that would mean so much to both these teams. Still no closer to finding out who's going to get it either. There's been a lack of chances, real clear-cut ones in this final, as both sides have negated each other in the important parts of the pitch. Barak will chase after that, and he's going to get there ahead of Gerbischer, but once again he's on his own. In fact, Gerbischer beats him to it and neatly backheels it away, and Belconnen have a bit of ball to play with deep inside their own half. Moscaratolo goes across and wins the ball. Here's Tidmarsh. And Green just helps it on to Murray. Bit of space out wide for Moscaratolo. Can he deliver something for his team? Wells. Bundled off the ball. Dustin Wells and a break on perhaps for Belconnen, and they'll get a free kick for it. It's pretty quiet stuff at the moment, Lee. It's not an awful lot going on. It's goalless. Crowd's built up a little bit more since we last spoke. There's a fair few on the other side as well.
Yeah, I think Capital Football would be very pleased with the attendance here tonight, Russ. Obviously, a 6 p.m. kickoff, but 2 quality sides playing some pretty good brand of football here as Belconnen go on the attack.
Chance to cross towards the far post. Here's an opportunity, but it's headed clear. It's going to drop for Ihegi. Can he beat his man? Isoso Ihegi, no. He's seen off by Shane Murray, I think that is it? No, it's not. It's Nathan Tidmarsh, sorry, who's limping a little bit now. He's come out second best in that challenge with Ihegi, and he looks a bit groggy. There's Nathan Tidmarsh, over his foot or his ankle. He'll try and run this off if he can. Beaten with a throw. Green with the clearance. Here's Ugrinik. Here's Taylor Beaton lining up a shot from range. Taylor Beaton with distance, and Denham fumbled it in the air and was grateful to see it drop into his hands as Ugrinik lurked.
I would say the Claudio's Canossa's heart would have just pumped a little bit harder there for a second or two as his goalkeeper fumbled the long range shot. But much to his relief, and obviously the Gungahlin fans was able to hang on to that and get it clear.
Ball is helped forward, and there's a bit of a chase, but a little bit less running in the legs from the Belconnen forward, the Gungahlin forwards in this half so far. Here's Blackley raking pass forward, looking for Ihegi. Now Tidmarsh needs to read this well, and he doesn't. And Ihegi has picked it up. A chance perhaps for him to run at Tidmarsh, and Murray goes past Murray. The rangy kind of footballer, isn't he? He's
really,
got
really
legs
great,
everywhere over the place.
really great footwork there from Ihegi until the final touch just sort of undid him there. He was on his ice skates a little bit and just just fluffed the landing. I'd say about a 4.5 for that landing.
He's a bit raw, isn't he? Still,
Yeah.
you can see there's plenty of potential
Yeah,
there
absolutely.
for the youngster, and he's did beautifully to bring it down and just tricked himself with the step over. It's Blackley and Gerbisher. John putting a bit of pressure on him. Matty Gerbisher using all his years of experience. Still going as well. And here's Ugrinik. Now Mukevski. Doesn't look like he's had a virus, does he? Goran Mukevski's been running around.
No, he's had a great first 60 minutes so far.
Bit of space here for Connor Nolan, who's just come on. Now he's found a Heggie. Good ball into the area, but there's no one there to challenge Jason Denham. I thought Connor Nolan might have tried his luck from there.
I think so. I think he's just a bit hesitant there to pull the trigger from 20 out, but I think you've got to test the keeper, and we've seen that Jason Denham's made a couple of, hasn't looked totally comfortable with those sort of long-range shots, so yeah, might as well have another crack and see what he does.
Here's Ugrinik. Belconnen turning the screw a little bit here. You sense something coming for the Blue Devils. This is a good run from Mukevski, and his shot in the end lacks a bit of power, but they've suddenly upped the tempo a little bit, and they're looking the more likely.
I think Jason Denham's had his hands on the ball maybe 3 or 4 times in the last 5 minutes. He'd be wanting to tell his defenders to help him out a little bit more here and try and get more ball out of the midfield and work forward, because it's all Belconnen in the last 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, I think Claudio Cardoso is asking for a little bit of calm from his team. They've gone off the ball a little bit at the moment, and Belconnen are the ones dictating the pace of the match. Is Blackley.
Yep.
But they've certainly spread the pitch. You can see that Heggie's now hugging the touchline this side and Mukevski the other, and Ugrinik's gone through the middle, so maybe the false 9 wasn't really working for Belconnen, and they've gone with an extra target now and a fluid front three. Here's Murray under pressure from Nolan. Must be careful here. Goes back to Denham. Had a couple of these in the first half. Jason Denham showed he was pretty good with his feet.
Yeah, Russ, I don't think it can be long before we see a substitution for Gungahlin here. Like, they haven't made one yet. We're 65 minutes gone in the game, still without a goal. We can see all the substitutes warming up behind the goal here as good defence there to stop that attack from Belconnen.
Yeah, Moscaratello just stepped across and saw the ball out of play. Yeah, as Lee says, the subs are all warming up behind the goal. It's they've got like we said, two forward attacking minded players in Habta Merriam and Krakic. Whether they use one of those, we'll see. I mean, it'd be difficult for them. Who would you take off in this star-studded front line that they've got at the moment?
It's really hard, isn't it? But I think, like Michael John's done a lot of work up and back, as we saw just before on Matty Gerbisher, and, it might be good just to get like a Danny Krakic in with a fresh set of legs for the last 20, 25 minutes, just to provide that run and just maintain what the effort that Michael John's been putting in.
Yeah, well, Michael John, like I say, was struggling with a little bit of, I think it was a hamstring injury beforehand, and he's put in an awful lot of work and done really well considering, and he's going to be on his bike after this one as well, and he might bring it down too. Bit of space for him here. Now, can he go at Callum Beaton? Chance perhaps for Gungahlin. Here is Michael John on the right foot, shoots, but Parakovic is right behind it once again. But, there's exactly the example of what we say. I mean, you're talking about maybe you're taking off someone like Michael John, and all of a sudden he bursts into life and does that. So it's a difficult decision, and that's why we're up here in the box and not sat down where Claudio Cardoso is with his assistant Mitch Stevens.
Well, Claudio's definitely not sitting. I think he's been standing the entire 66 minutes, and he's been moving most of those as well. Hand signals, turning to the crowd. He's a very animated coach, old Claudio. He's doing a lot of good work there on the sideline. Yeah,
he's enjoying himself, I think. Enjoying the challenge, as are a little bit different to the emotions portrayed by Dean Ugrinik and his coaching staff. Serenely sat down, I'm sure, inside there, pumping. Here's Nolan. And Beaton. Shooting chance perhaps for Taylor Beaton, who lets one go from distance, and Denham again gets down.
That's a decent attempt from Taylor Beaton. Low, it could have sort of bounced anywhere and looked for a second that it would have got under his grasp, but I think that's what he needs to do from 20 or 25 yards out, really test Denham and really put him under the pump.
And they like to play out from the back there, don't they, Gungahlin? And Moscaratello catches Van Meurs, and it'll be a yellow card for Alex Moscaratello. The youngster joins Shane Murray in the book.
I think it's a little bit rough. I think that's probably a bit of a build-up from some of the earlier challenges we've seen, Russ. I think the referee wants to, probably stop a bit of that. Some of the ones that sort of were let go earlier are now being called. So look, probably in the whole scheme of things, probably a fair enough decision in the end.
Yeah, it's a fairly nondescript challenge, wasn't it? But I think that's he's the unlucky one after an accumulation of fouls from several other players on the field. He's got to draw the line somewhere, Luke Withell, and I think he's drawn it already. So we'll probably see a few more yellows now in the last 20 minutes, and the game might become a bit more fractious as nerves set in. It's at this stage, of course, that finals can be won and lost. A goal in this last 20 minutes either way could be the critical moment. Could give you a headline for tomorrow's paper. We're expecting a full back page story in the Canberra Times.
I'm hoping to get on the front page, Russ, if we get something special here. But look, I think obviously if there's a goal, we might see our favourite Korean substitute come off the bench, park the bus. He's always been a crowd favourite here in Canberra football.
Yep, he has. Terrible joke, Lee. That's terrible.
I'll stick that back in the drawer for next year.
Like my Dutch centre forward, Hertz van Rentel. Anyway, back to the football. We did have a request earlier on to pull out the slice of cheese, and we've
forgotten that.
We've
forgotten that.
We've
I can't
refrained
believe
from
we're
that. I'll leave that one for you. For next yellow card, you can have one. That's from our friends down in Tasmania.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for our slice of tomato to come out.
Yeah,
Maybe.
Slice of tomato. Yeah, that's our friends down in Tasmania. They patented that one, I think. I'm not sure we can use it.
I think we've got a trademark. I think we've actually got to pay them every time we say it.
Well, here's Green looking for a chance here into the penalty, and Denham punches it away. It was Kemp's pass down the line to McKeskey, and it's going to break for Wells. Once again, Belconnen looking strong. Here's Michael John on the break. Does well, gets to a bus too, and Ehegi brings him down. And then there's a bit of a coming together with Connor Nolan right in front of the referee.
Jeez, I'm really surprised, Russ. There was nothing called on that play, and Michael John is still down.
Yeah, I think he's claiming that he probably got a stamp on the knee or something there from Connor Nolan. It looked like it was a fairly rough challenge from Nolan, but yeah, I'm not sure it was.
Yeah, it happened right in front of the Gungahlin bench, so obviously they're up and upset about that, and probably think it's been the first of several that have gone unnoticed during the game.
Yeah, I mean, credit for Luke Withell, he's right on the spot for that, but he saw nothing in it. But of course, the bench to our left saw plenty in it, and the bench to our right thought it was a decent tackle.
I think the bench to our right were looking the other way, weren't they? If you ask them after the game, I didn't see that at all.
Dean Arsene Wenger Ugrinnik, you mean? Dean calls a spade a spade. If he saw it, he would call it out.
I think Dean was looking towards the goalkeeper and just seeing what Jason Denham was up to at the time, or maybe examining Adam Krakovich's positioning at the other end.
Well, Canosa's having a chat with his captain, Dustin Wells, down there at the moment. Probably just putting a little bit of advice across as to what to do for this final 20 minutes. Michael John looks like he's okay, gives a thumbs up to someone in the crowd who gave him a little bit of stick there, maybe. Or
do you think the advice is score a goal?
Could be.
Yeah.
It's good advice.
Yeah.
It's good advice. I don't think they want extra time any more than anybody else here. I mean, even though it's quite a dramatic kind of denouement to a match, but it's getting colder.
And we see Michael John go back on the field, much to the cheers of the Belconnen United fans.
Yeah, they were happy to see him back, weren't they? Here's Murray sending it forward.
Be a few Christmas cards sent in the off-season between them and Michael John, I'd imagine.
Blackley sends that up, looking for the runner. Ehegi, and Green comes across, and here's Murray. Perhaps they were suggesting he wasn't that badly hurt.
I would never do anything like that, Ross. Never.
Here's Murray. Oh, brilliant play, and that's a foul by Callum Beaton, and he's going to go in the book as well. He's the second Belconnen player alongside his brother, Taylor Beaton, to get a yellow card. So that's 4 yellow cards, 2 on each side. And I think, as you said, with that tackle from Alex Moscatelli, it's probably set the stall out now for Luke Withell for the rest of the match.
Is that officially a block of cheese now? Are we up to a block?
4 slices.
4 slices.
Not yet. Much of a block, is it?
Well, it depends on where you're shopping, I suppose.
I'd expect more than 4 slices in my block. Wait, unless it's a really thick slice of cheese. Nathan Tinmarsh will take the free kick left-footed, swinging it up towards the edge of the penalty area. And Belconnen see it away once again, and off goes Goran McKeskey. He's like the Energizer Bunny, isn't he? He doesn't stop running, this boy. Got a lot of energy, and he's won it as well. Still going, Goran McKeskey. Still going forward, and he goes down under the challenge, but Luke Withell was right on the spot. He says no foul, and here's a bit of a flashpoint. Ugrinnik swung a punch there, maybe, on one of the players, and there's another swing from Reagan Walsh too on Connor Nolan, and Luke Withell's got a decision to make here, and we only saw it in real time, but I thought I saw an arm from both Jason Ugrinnik and Reagan Walsh within that.
I've got to admit, I didn't see the first one. I definitely saw Reagan Walsh's retaliation there.
Well, Greg Taylor on this near side may have seen something as well, the assistant, and Luke Withell's getting involved in it. It was a run from Goran McKeskey, and when the ball broke, Ugrinnik went to fetch it, and in the end, I think he's waving it all away. He's going to call his liners in to have a word, his assistants, and I think Jack Green went with a tackle on Ugrinnik, and it sparked a little bit. Ugrinnik wasn't happy with the challenge.
I was a bit surprised he didn't talk to his assistant referees on that occasion, because especially the one on our side would have got a much better view of the, especially the Reagan Walsh, his retaliation. Obviously, Jason Ugrinek would have been on the far side, but I'm very surprised that there's no decision as yet.
So he's going to come to this near side to have a chat. There was definitely, I thought there was a jab by Regan Walsh. I mean, whether or not the Belconnen players made a meal of it, I don't know. But Luke Withell and his assistants will sort this one out. We could do an instant replay screen here, couldn't we, for us up in the box? And the fourth official, Owen Goldrick's giving his 2 cents worth now as well.
It's a bit of a lengthy delay, isn't
there? There is, and I think there's going to be a card coming out here and it's going to be a card for Regan Walsh, and it's a red one.
That's a red card. He's gone.
And it is a red card.
He's gone. Gungahlin down to 10 men.
That'll be
huge.
Yeah, that'll be for the punch that we thought we saw in the box here. Stephen Dominici's coming across to have a chat, and
Claudio Canossa applauding the Belconnen bench as well.
Yeah, he's not happy, is he? But I mean, I think when he sees the replay, when he sees what we saw, then possibly. I mean, Regan Walsh, he's got a fiery temper. It'll be interesting to see what he is again. I mean, we like to cast aspersions on what he actually did without seeing a replay, but in real time, it did look like there was an arm used on one of the Belconnen players in retaliation to something that happened before.
But what you touched on, there might have been something from Jason Ugrinek which started that, but obviously the officials didn't have a clear sight of that, and all they've seen is a retaliation from Regan Walsh. So you can understand why the Gungahlin bench is really upset at that decision now. They're down to 10 men for the last 16 minutes of normal time, and obviously if we're still tied at the end of that, we're off to a penalty or extra time and then a penalty shootout. So it's a massive advantage now for Belconnen.
Exactly like happened in the league game when Liam Walsh got his marching orders for a headbutt. And interestingly, that decision seemed to have been made by Owen Goldrick, the fourth official, in that instance. Both assistants had their say, and then Owen Goldrick went on and had his say, and it was probably off for the advice of Owen Goldrick, who would have had a good view of it on this near side, similar to the one we've got, but at ground level. He saw something amiss as well, and Regan Walsh makes the march down the tunnel and leaves Gungahlin down to 10 men with 15 minutes of the game to go, plus possibly extra time and penalties, and it's a massive, massive moment in the match. And completely different dynamic to the game now. We'll interestingly to see what happens. It looks like Gungahlin are going to make a change. It looks like Hassan Kamara, the centre-back, is going to come on. They need to shore this up at the back, and we'll see who he sacrifices for that. Here's Belconnen, meanwhile. Ugrinek in the area, twisting and turning, laying the ball back, shooting chance for McKeskey perhaps. He declines it, passes it on to Kemp, who finds Beaton. Slides it in, but it's stabbed away by Gungahlin, and here comes a break now. Here's a chance for Stephen Dominici, and he's got Barak up with him. I think Tim Marsh has made a lung-bursting run up on this near side, but he hasn't spotted it, and the game kind of slows down, and there's an injury to McKeskey up front as Wells switches play. Here's Callum Beaton. Ihegi. Tim Marsh comes across. Ihegi's still going, but his pass in the end is picked up by Wells, and Murray finds it backwards, and Gungahlin looking to take the sting out of it as Belconnen look to find the breakthrough. Here's Ugrinek chasing with Green, and Green goes back to his goalkeeper. Still no score, but Lee, how big will that send-off be, do you think?
Oh, it's absolutely massive, Russ, obviously in the context of the game where we still haven't had a goal, 14 minutes to go. Look, Gungahlin are just up against it right now, and I think they can probably use this, us against them mentality to their advantage, but just that one man down, it's going to really hurt them. They'll have to play a very smart game as we see another yellow card. Referee Luke Withell getting very busy as we close in towards, obviously, extra time. Yeah,
former Blue Devil Dustin Wells sees yellow for that one. We've had a couple of people texting in saying they were watching their game on the stream, and they said there was a definite left-arm jab there from Regan Walsh, so it seems that the decision was the correct one. Not many people sure about what happened with the original incident, though, so that'll be interesting to see what provoked it, but it seems like the red card was the correct one. But here's a change for Gungahlin United, and an enforced one as well. It's Dustin Wells, the captain and former Belconnen United player, who has to go off, replaced by Hassan Kamara, the defender, who, interestingly, this is only his second match of the season, and he'll slot into the second back. He's only a second centre-back position alongside of Jack Green, who's now taken over the captaincy, and he's only played one match all season in the first grade, and that was a substitute in a cup tie. So just like Benjamin Van Meur's big moment for Hassan Kamara.
Oh, I'm really interested to see the tactics here from Claudio Canossa for the final 12, 13 minutes, whether they go into their shell and try and try and get it through to the extra time, and then obviously a shootout, or whether they try and push forward despite being a man down. Look, I think probably the smart money here is to try and get it through to extra time, and try and get your luck in the penalty shootout when it's a 50-50 proposition.
Well, Kamara beaten to it in his first involvement. Here's Mukevski. It breaks for Connor Nolan, who was involved in that contretemps. I think it was Connor Nolan that was the one that was involved with Reagan Walsh and Stephen Dominici. They need him to step up now, don't they? They need their big players, Gungahlin, to really put their names forward and get out there and do something. Down to 10 men.
Well, especially with Dustin Wells coming off as well, the captain, I suppose the heartbeat of this team, the most experienced player, former Blue Devil, as you said, and with him off, it's up to guys like Dominici to really step their game up and take it to another level. Space
for Ugrinik, but it's snuffed out pretty quickly by Moscaratolo and Kamara. And Moscaratolo goes in fairly hefty on that challenge, and he's already got a yellow card as well, remember. So I think he'll be a lucky boy to stick away from that one. And Lee, with 11 minutes to play, I mean, you can see all the pressure now is on Gungahlin. It's pretty much all Belconnen, as you would probably expect since the send-off.
I think even before the send-off, it was this way, Russ. They were really pushing forward, and obviously, with a one-man advantage, it's even more so at the moment.
So the free kick is swung towards the far post, and the header is brilliant from Kamara. His first touch of the final, and an important one too, as Murray just sends that anywhere out towards Ugrinik, who's bringing that down. Great control from Dean Ugrinik.
Getting back on the field. He's lost none of the touch, the coach there. I think
well, that came out of the sky, didn't it? Out of the had snow on it, and he just brought it down, killed it first time.
Oh, magic touch. So you never lose class. Never lose class.
Maybe they should make the coaches take part in the shootout if it gets that far. Claudio Canosa, apparently he played a bit as well, so it'd be interesting. And it looks like they're going to bring on young Jeremy Habtemariam as well, so this will be interesting to see who he replaces. Meantime, it's a throw-in, and it's going to break in the penalty area. It's a chance perhaps from Mukevski, who just dinks it over the top. He couldn't get anything on it, straight through to Jason Denham.
Russ, where would we see young Jeremy play? Is he more of a midfielder, striker, defender?
Well, Jeremy, one of those players that can play anywhere on the field. We may see him come on as a right back in place of Alex Moscaratolo, or he may play on this near side depending on how Michael John has recovered from that knock he had a little bit earlier. So he can play pretty much anywhere. He's better out wide. He's got jinky skills. He set up the first goal of the season here, actually, or one of the first goals of the season with a cross to Daniel Barak, which was a superb finish. We'll see, because they're going to make that change right now, and it is looks like it's Michael John trotting across to this near side, so it'll be winger for winger, and John put in a fair amount of work today, didn't he? And it's a good substitution for him, and he's done well.
Yeah, great contribution from Michael John in this final. He's worked relentlessly in his 80-minute stint, really pushed hard up and back, done his defensive duties as a striker as well, so really good effort from him, and I think Coach Claudio can also be very pleased with his performance tonight.
Yeah, so Habtemariam will come out to this near side where Michael John was. Silky skilled player, very fast. Might give Callum Beaton a troubling time or two, especially if he goes to extra time. The younger legs as well. Callum Beaton's been around for a fair while and took a couple of seasons off to recuperate, and now he's back in the team. Looks like he's never been away, which is a testament to his ability.
What have you seen, Russ, in their possible change of formation since they lost? Went down to 10 men. If they sort of dropped back and played a more defensive structure, or what are you seeing out there?
Looks like they're just leaving the one out front with Barak and still doing the 4-3-3 becomes a 4-5-1 with a 4-4-1 in essence now. They'll still see the back four. It looks like it's the same back four that they'll have before Kamara goes in. And then the midfield four will have a lot of work to do, and Daniel Barak will obviously have to run his proverbials off up front and keep himself busy. But they only need one chance, and Murray will look to provide it from this free kick, swinging it in towards the far post where Green wins the header, and Kamara will go after it. And Parakovic, who's been a bit underemployed this half.
I thought he'd be catching a cold back there or grabbing a cup of tea or something. Like we haven't even spoken much about him. Parakovic is
not for a while. Not for a while. He hasn't had a lot to do, has he? And testament to his defence, I think, and they've been very strong. And we did notice just before the send-off that Gungahlin were dropping off the pace a little bit, and that Belconnen was starting to dictate the tempo. And Connor Nolan finds you great. Now, can they find a goal? Which is the important thing. Here's Murray. He's been a workhorse, hasn't he? Been outstanding again, Murray. And that ball looking for the run of Barak, but Daniel Barak was gone for the original ball, I think. And
probably a bit optimistic there, obviously, with Matt Gerber should clean that up very easily, obviously with the help of Jack Blackley.
Here's Green, the captain now. Gaspari. Kamara lets it go, and Makevsky's going to get on the end of this. Goran Makevsky's clean through on goal. What a chance this is! And he's dragged it wide.
Oh, that's a massive chance there for Belconnen United. That was the game right there. They would have put him through to the FFA Cup itself.
Yeah, mistake from Hassan Kamara, and Goran Makevsky was clean through on goal, but he blew his lines at the vital moment and drags his shot across the face of goal and wide. The most clear-cut chance I think we've had since Taylor Beaton's in the first half. And the forward will be very disappointed for a player that scored 5 goals this season and a number of penalties, of course, but he'll be disappointed he didn't pick that up. Here's a chance again, though, as he tries to lift it over the head towards David Kemp, and Green does well, and he sends one up the other end. Gerbischer cuts it off. Bit of excitement for the crowd to keep them on their toes. Gerbischer's pass is blocked. It's going to break from Murray, who does well. It's a good tussle with Matty Gerbischer. Now he's away from Ehegi, who slides in and he beats him as well. Still going, Murray looking for his options. There's Gaspari. He's got a runner wide, and he's asking a lot of young Moscaratolo, but he's going to get there. Alex Moscaratolo. But his pass is picked off by Beaton, who drives forward. Taylor Beaton over halfway, still going Beaton. What a run this is. Now space out wide for Ugrinik. Chance perhaps for Belconnen. Is this their moment? Swung into the penalty area, but Jack Green says no and hooks it out for the near side. And Lee, they're warming up Matt Valeri, the erstwhile striker, the veteran Belconnen player who retired last season, and he's back this year. Be a heck of a story if he scores the winning goal.
It's a very handy addition to come off the bench, isn't it, Russ? You know, someone of Matt Valeri's experience, guile, knows how to find a goal as well, but very classy in the midfield. It really can pull the strings, and we're looking, I suppose, more and more likely that we might go to extra time. Yeah,
and Gungahlin look like they're going to respond with Danny Krakic. He's stripped off and ready to go. He's warming up on the touchline with his kid on. I don't think they'll let him do that if they spot him. But he's very keen to go, and so both sides going for broke, trying to win their place into the Westfield FFA Cup round of 32. Here's Gaspari. Now Habtemeriam, his first real involvement, is a decent little ball into the midfield. Dominici. Kamara, he would have been the most relieved man on the park, I think, that Makevsky dragged that one wide. He obviously got a call from someone, but
it was just out of position, wasn't he? It was a pretty ordinary piece of play from him. I was going to say that their 2 substitutions have been pretty good so far, and both have made an impact. But obviously he almost made an impact for the wrong reason.
Yes, Green takes off on one of those galloping runs. He likes to do this on the odd occasion, Jack Green, but this time he runs out of steam and does win the throw-in, and we're going to see Matt Valeri in the 86th minute of the game. Be interesting to see who he comes on for.
Looks like it might be
young Ahosa.
I'm a little bit surprised with this, given his wonderful performance tonight, but I think the amount of running that he's done so far, but you can't really blame Daniel Green for taking him off the field. I think he just absolutely spent. He's had a great game, really testing Gungahlin out on the edges all night long. So good to see Matt Valeri come on, and whether he can make an impact and maybe help get the decisive goal with 4 minutes left on the clock before injury time.
Yeah, so any sort of goal now you think would be a killer blow. Here's Murray, who's had a great match, but he's not been able to influence things in the areas of the field where Gungahlin would like him to influence things. He's had a lot of time on the ball, a lot of touches, but not in that area in the final third where we know he can be so deadly. But only takes one moment, of course, for either side to secure what would be a prestigious place in the Westfield FFA Cup round of 32. Here's Gaspari. Moscaratolo's got a bit of space. Ambitious ball towards Daniel Barak, who's worked really hard. I'm surprised he's got much left in the tank, Daniel Barak. Maybe he hasn't. Maybe that's why Danny Krakic is warming up.
I think it's pretty much got what my car's got at the moment. Empty. Nothing. I don't know how I'm going to get home, to be honest.
You'd live up the road, don't you?
I think I might have to push it back to Braddon, I think.
Well, it's Belconnen Soccer Club just over the way there. You can
camp out for the night or something.
Yeah, go in there and enjoy a refreshment or two after the match. Throw into the penalty area, and Gerbischer all over the back of Barak and does brilliantly to get rid of it. Bit of head tennis as Kamara comes forward. Good touch from the big fella. Hassan Kamara. Now he's off on a bit of a run. He's lost it here. He's got to be careful because he's out of position. 3 Belconnen players forward in this attack.
I wouldn't say he runs like a gazelle, but it's a bit of an unusual running style, isn't it, from Kamara?
It's a loping kind of gait, isn't it? It's still not quite got back to help out. He's back in position now. Here's Nolan. Callum Beaton. Back to Nolan. Ugrinik. Murray, no foul, and Habtemariam goes in with a bit of a kick. And he caught Connor Nolan across the chest there, but...
It's a bit of a cynical challenge from Shane Murray first up. I'm surprised that wasn't blown for a foul. And obviously Habtemariam comes in and finishes off the job. Nice little 1-2 punch there from Gungahlin.
Yeah, Belconnen not particularly happy, and neither Gungahlin for that matter. They weren't particularly happy about the decision, but this is, with a minute and a half to go, Lee, what a chance. Jason Ugrinik is behind it on his left foot. He could swing this into the danger area. Is this the moment that we get a match winner?
He's wonderful in these dead ball situations, isn't he, with his left foot, Jason Ugrinik, who's about 20, 25 out.
Well, here we go. Ugrinik will swing this in. It's a good ball too, and it had to be won, and it was by Green, and it's a corner on this near side, and it was heading goalwards, and any sort of touch from a forward there is horrible for a goalkeeper, and Jack Green showed why he's been given the captain's armband as Dustin Wells went off.
I think you could see Jack Green, that he used to play for Belconnen there, and knew what Jason Ugrinik was up to, got himself in the right position and made the clearance at the right time.
Well, Ugrinik will have a second chance to swing a dead ball in, this time from a corner. Can Belconnen steal it at the death? Brilliant ball in towards the far post. Here comes a header. It's knocked on. It's off the line. And there's a header. And it's just wide of goal from Matt Gerbischer. What a chance for Belconnen.
I don't know how that didn't go in the back of the net. Absolutely great defending by Gungahlin to keep that out. But they've got to withstand another corner here from Belconnen. The home side, can they get it?
Here comes Ugrinik again to swing it in. Another dangerous looking ball. Denham comes. The header falls for Kemp. It's back towards Ugrinik. Left-footed, swings it towards the far post. Bodies everywhere in there, and down goes a Belconnen defender, and it's a free kick, and they can breathe again. Dean Ugrinik had his head in his hands. I think it may have been Blackley who got the first header in, I'm not sure, but it was headed off the line, and Matt Gerbischer almost followed up, heading into the corner, but Gungahlin survived, and we've got stoppage time now at the end of the 90 minutes, and it's a foul to Gungahlin inside the Belconnen half. Here's a chance then, perhaps one last opportunity for the Gunners. Hassan Kamara is trotting forward. Jack Green is trotting forward. Well, he's just tempered himself a little bit because Goran Mukeski's back on halfway. And they're all right now because Habtemariam and Moscaratello across. Now can Murray deliver, Lee? Last chance perhaps for Gungahlin. Opportunity this time to swing it in towards the penalty area. Drops it up towards Kamara and Green. Green wins it. It's going to fall for Kamara though. But he's back to goal and he's well outside and he'll settle for the throw-in. Dramatic end to the game. Here's Barak, and he wins a corner. Now Murray can go across and deliver one of his set pieces. Can Gungahlin steal it at the death?
This is end-to-end stuff, Russ. This is beautiful. This is what we wanted to see here in the FFA Cup final. We're into injury time. Scores are locked, 0-0. Gungahlin with the chance. Can they take it?
Well, one way or the other, if someone did score, now the roof would come off this place. And Shane Murray is looking to make it count. He's going to take this one right-footed. Plenty to aim for, as you would expect, and it's a decent-looking corner. Green's going to get there. It's going to drop for Kamara, but it's cleared by Blackley. Superb piece of defending. Habtemariam. Kemp can only help it wide towards Murray again. Now Habtemariam's got a bit of space in which to work. He'll take on his man. Bit of skill from Jeremy Habtemariam, but it's been well read by Ben Van Meurs, who's seen that before and hooked it away. Only as far as Gaspari, who found Murray. Ball in towards, Prakovic comes, needs to get it, and does. Great bit of goalkeeping from Alan Prakovic at this stage of the game. His kick, though, was a little bit rushed. And across comes Matt Valeri. And Beaton blasts it into Valeri, and Tinmars wants to take the throw quickly here. And Dominici's going, and Baric is going, and Gerbischer sends it clear to Habtemariam, who chips it back over the top, and Barak will try and get on the end of it, but Beaton's there, and Taylor Beaton, that is, who sends it down the line. And quite a dramatic last 5 minutes we've had.
There's actually a bit of an issue with the scoreboard here, Russ. We haven't stopped at 90. We've continued on, which is pretty unusual.
Yeah, it's telling us it's 92 and a half minutes played, which is stoppage time. That's okay, I guess, for us. I'm not sure how it is for the players, but that's all right. We know it's good stoppage time minutes. Here's Moscaratello. Adds to the drama of the occasion. I think everybody now knows how long there is to go and how long we've played, and it's a free kick to Gungahlin United in the 93rd minute of the match. There cannot be much more to go as we search for the ACT's representative in the FFA Cup round of 32. Shane Murray once again is behind this free kick, as he's been for all of the dead ball situations throughout the night. Once again the big men are forward. clips it in towards Green and Kamara. Kamara wins the header, but that's never going to threaten Adam Parakovic. And Luke Withall looks at his watch. And Lee Gaskin, it looks like we're heading to extra time.
I think we are, Russ. I think we're going for another half an hour, and then if we're still tied, penalty shootout, baby. Penalty shootout.
Everyone loves a penalty shootout, of course, except for the players that are involved. Here's Blackley looking to make that redundant thumping ball forward. And Moscaratello, who's had a good match as well for a teenager back there. And
there's got to only be seconds left in the game, Russ.
Dominici looking to make an impact in those final seconds. Goes past a couple of challenges. He's still going, but Belconnen muscling him out in the end, and Beaton picks it up. Here's Nolan. 94th minute of the game. Here's Valeri. Well, he hasn't got the pace to beat Tim Marsh, but has he got the wherewithal to hold it up? He does. Here's Nolan. Beaton. Gaspari pressures him. It's back to Blackley. And a tired-looking ball from Blackley. Van Meurs wasn't going to get that, and there's the final whistle, Lee. An extra half an hour.
Yeah, I suppose it opened up a bit in the second half, Russ, but we still haven't seen a lot of shots on goal. That last 5 minutes was pretty frantic. Gungahlin clearing off the line, a couple of opportunities there, but look, let's go to extra time and see if we can get a winner in the next half an hour.
Well, we'll take a break for about 5 minutes or so while we sort this out for extra time, and we'll be back for that extra half an hour and possibility of penalties, because the final score in the Westfield FFA Cup qualifying final is Belconnen United 0, Gungahlin United 0. So we're back and away in extra time here at McKellar Park in the Westfield FFA Cup qualifying final. Belconnen United 0, Gungahlin United 0. Lee, we've looked at the send-off during that little break we had there, and it was a definite left-arm jab there from Reagan Walsh, which got him sent off, responding to what looked like an elbow or a swing from Jason Ugrinik.
Yeah, probably the right call from Luke Withall to send off Reagan Walsh. However, Jason Ugrinik can consider himself very lucky to still be on the park. I suppose it's just one of those things that happens in a game of football. The referee might miss the first shot, but only get the retaliation. So I think Gungahlin a bit unlucky to be a man down. Maybe both teams should be down to 10.
Yeah, it's a bit of a silly reaction from Reagan Walsh, unfortunately, but he's paid the penalty, and he'll watch the rest of this from the stands. So I don't think there was any further changes at the break there, as we were. I think, of course, Belconnen have made their 3 changes. They can't make any more. We're just waiting for the last for Gungahlin. His green. But a bit of drama to end the match there. And Canosa not quite with the touch of Ugrinik there.
So have Gungahlin made their 3 changes as
No,
well?
Gungahlin made 2, haven't they? They brought on Jeremy Haptamariam
They've got Kamara.
and Hassan Kamara. Is that the only 2 they've
Danny
made?
Krakic, has he come on?
He's still on the bench.
Still on the bench.
I think he's still warming up behind the goal. He was ready to go, I think, just before we went to extra time. And, of course, Belconnen made theirs fairly early. I had to bring on Benjamin Van Meurs after 25 minutes. Then, of course, they brought on Conor Nolan and Matt Valeri. So they've made their 3. Dean's played his cards. And we'll see where they lay at the end of this. And Claudio will be hoping that he's got a joker or an ace up his sleeve.
I don't think he'd want to have a joker, Ross. I think he's
Depends what game he's playing, doesn't it?
He's playing football.
Not much of a card player myself.
A bit of 500 odd,
That's why I never.
Every now and then.
That's why I never went to the casino on blackjack.
Yeah.
I'm always looking for the joker. Anyway, here's Barak. We should actually give a shout out to John Helgeson, Belconnen United's team manager, who usually is a font of information on nights like this, but he's actually slamming it at the moment over where I used to live in Lincoln in the UK, on part of his European tour.
He's doing it very tough, isn't he?
He's doing it tough, yeah. I saw he was posting stuff on Facebook the other day about food he was drinking and giant beers, and looked like he was having a real tough time over there, missing this final.
And missing the weather as well, missing the -5 mornings in Canberra.
Absolutely, but John being a Belco man through and through, he'll be watching this online and no doubt preparing a message to yourself or me, telling us very nicely where to go. Here come the Blue Devils.
Depending on the result, of course.
Of course. Here come the Blue Devils, looking for that breakthrough. They've got an extra man, remember, following the send-off of Reagan Walsh. Here's Beaton. And Valeri. Haptamarian gets a toe in, and Valeri catches him on the way through and will get the free kick. And Lee, where do you see this one going in extra time?
Well, Ross, often we see in extra time, there might be 1 goal or, maybe even 2, but I suppose, we called the Canberra Grand Final last year, and it was actually 1-1 at the end of 90 minutes and turned into 3-3 at the end of 120. So, we've seen it before. We've seen that 1 goal may not be enough in extra time, and it could sort of still turn. There might be a few twists along the way. Look, obviously Belconnen has a man advantage, so they'll be favourite. But look, we saw at the end of the 90 minutes there that Gungahlin made a couple of positive pushes forward, and I think obviously bringing Danny Krakic on, he might be the man who really sparked them into action.
Had a question come through on our phone here that's asking whether the send-off will count towards the Westfield FFA Cup round of 32, or whether it will apply to the local competition. And I imagine it would apply to the local competition, depending on how many matches he gets, whether that will roll on to the Westfield FFA Cup round of 32. But that's a decision that the disciplinary committee will make over the course once they've seen, possibly use the video evidence to have a look at it and read the referee's report as well. They'll make the decision on how many matches that send-off deserves, and if the FFA Cup unfortunately falls into that, if Gungahlin get through, then he'll miss, of course, that match as well, which would be a disappointment for him.
Russ, do we know when the FFA Cup proper gets off and kicks off and starts off?
Yeah, I think it's the first round was towards the end of July, first week in August, and the draw is in early July, live on Fox Sports. So whichever one of these 2 teams will be there, of course, hoping that they get one of the big names of the A-League in the first round. There's 4 A-League teams they could possibly draw in that first round. The top 4 of the competition last year: Melbourne Victory, Melbourne City, Adelaide United, or Sydney FC. So one of those 4 potentially could be an opposition for one of these 2 teams. Of course, the other 6 A-League teams all play each other to knock themselves out and provide a pathway for one of the lower grade teams to get to the semi-finals like Bentley Greens did in such memorable style last year. There's Murray swinging it in. It's going to break here for Jack Green, whose shot is blocked brilliantly on the far near post. I think it was Matt Valeri back there throwing himself at it, was it? I think it was. showing all these years of experience there to get in the way of that shot from Jack Green. But it's been a entertaining last 20 minutes or so, wasn't it? It took a slow burner, this one, Lee. It took a while to get going.
Yeah, that's probably the way we thought it was going to be, Russ. Obviously, both being a bit conservative first up, and the game was always going to open up a little bit later on in the contest. You know, I think most people would have thought we would have seen a goal by now. But obviously, both sides still pushing forward and trying to look for that decisive goal that might put them through to the round of 32.
Corner for Murray on this near side, right-footed, swings it in, and Prakovic needs to come and get it and doesn't. Unfortunately for the Belconnen goalkeeper, his defence clears up, and Connor Nolan thinks the discretion is the better part of valour and just heads that one out of play. Still waiting for that goal. You get the feeling that one goal would do it now, don't you? Either way.
I think so, but like I was saying before, obviously we saw with the Canberra Grand Final,
as Tim Marsh fires out one goal, flashed wide.
we saw last year that it was 1-0 at the end of 90 minutes and turned into be 3-3. So there's still a lot of time left. We've got obviously another 24 minutes left in extra time.
Well, if we get 6 goals in 24 minutes, it'll be quite an entertaining end to this one, wouldn't it? And everybody that's at home watching, I hope you're enjoying it so far. This is the first time we've tried a live stream of one of our local matches, and hopefully if it goes all right, we'll do it again. And it hasn't impacted too much on the attendance, I don't think, which is a good thing. And of course, if the FFA Cup gets underway and we need to do a live stream for the away team or whatever like that, so we'll see how we go. Might have to fly in some proper commentators for that one.
Yeah, mate, might forget those lads in Tasmania up to help us out.
I think so.
We could
do a half each. You missed out on your slice of tomato there, didn't you?
No. Yeah, so I should have jumped in. Obviously, Regan Walsh helped me out on that occasion.
Here's Beaton driving forward, but it's a little flicked pass was easily read by Jack Green. Blackley to Gerbischer. Which one of these players out there will step up and become the hero of this night? It's offside and a free kick to Gungahlin. I need someone to do so, otherwise we will be going to penalties. We are halfway through the first period of extra time, no real chances to either side. If anything, I think the crowd has got a little bit bigger as the night's gone on. Maybe players that were playing at 3 o'clock have decided to come on down.
Yeah, I think you've got a pretty decent crowd at McKellar Park when you have a few on the far side of the ground, and that seems to be filling up fairly well as well. Both grandstands here on our side of the ground are fairly packed, so it's a really good turnout for what's a fantastic occasion.
Yeah, considering that one of the two teams, you say, like Gungahlin, not necessarily the best supported team in the league in terms of becoming newcomers. I mean, obviously, if someone like Canberra FC or Olympic were here, they would bring hundreds of fans because they have hundreds of fans. But here's a chance perhaps for Dominici, and he's got right under that and chipped it over the bar. That levels the 6 points from the first half. Shane Murray does it. Is it worth 6? Or is it only 3 in Ireland?
Yeah, how does it work with Gaelic football anyway?
I don't really know. Maybe it's only 3.
I might watch international rules, but I'm not really all over the point system of Gaelic football.
Me neither. Maybe it's 1. I think it's 1, actually.
Is it 1?
Yeah, I don't know.
Does it get 6 if it gets between the net, though?
I think it might be 3.
3. Okay.
Yeah. We'll have to Google that one later. Apologies to any Gaelic football fans out there. Here's Tim Marsh. Valeri.
Oh, optimistic there from Valeri.
Well, he thought, why not? He saw his name up in lights there, didn't he? Matt Valeri. He's seen his brother.
Do you think his name was Carl Valeri?
I think he's seen his brother score an absolute cracker.
Or Walter Valeri? I think Walter scored a few of those back in the day in the NSL.
Well, the canteen's shutting, Lee. I just happened to turn around behind me and they've had enough.
Is that right? They've gone home.
They've shut out. They've obviously run out of burgers or stuff.
Hope to get a nice little Milo or something soon.
Yeah,
disappointing.
No coffee for us.
Oh, okay.
Here's Habtemariam. Throw into Gungahlin. 6 minutes to half time. Still waiting on that final change for United. Or Gungahlin United, I should say. Here's Dominici. Kaspari. Well read by Blackley. And Valeri, and a chance for a break on for the Blue Devils. Ugric though slows it down. He's got Blackley and Valeri up front. Probably not the speedsters he wanted ahead of him. Dominici. Kamara. And Withers brought it back for a foul on Dominici by David Kemp. And at the moment, you wouldn't say that the 10 men are looking any less likely than the 11.
Not at all. We haven't seen Belconnen really take advantage. I thought when Gungahlin were reduced to 10, Belconnen might have decided to move the ball a bit wider and really test out that extra space there. But they've been trying to still play the ball through the middle third and not really test Gungahlin out wide much at all, which is a bit surprising.
Well, Luke Withell wants to chat with Matt Valeri. Just probably a quiet word to say.
Check his address or something?
Yeah,
or
maybe he's going for a quick one after the game, a quick pint in the pub.
just figuring out which sort of local establishment they're going to go to.
Yeah. The free kick here from Murray swings it in, looking for Kamara, who gets up. It's Green who heads it down, though, and was always leaning backwards, but he's found Dominici, Tidmarsh. Now Dominici, can he find something? Can Tidmarsh deliver? Good looking ball towards the far post. It's a little bit over here, but Habtemariam will be able to pick this up. Maybe return it into the danger area. He's got Kemp and Van Meurs to deal with, and he does brilliantly to get past them both here, Jeremy Habtemariam. But across came Valeri to concede the corner.
Goes earn his team a free kick, I think, Ross. Might be a foul there, just.
Oh, the little pull back when he went through the two
players.
players?
I think so. Yeah,
okay.
I think they've sort of held him back a little bit there, and.
So even better positioning for Shane Murray to deliver something special again.
You probably look for Kamara again. He's been pretty dangerous since he's come on with his height there for any set piece situations.
Yeah, both Kamara and Green are in there. Habtemariam's loitering on the edge of the box, and Stephen Dominici's unmarked right on the edge of the penalty area if anything drops there. Murray goes flat and low, and he's bouncing around the penalty area, and it's going to drop for Gaspari, who drills one goalwards, and it's here's a chance, and it's in! Daniel Barrett scores! And Gungahlin have the lead with 4 minutes left of the first period of extra time, and it's the underdogs, Gungahlin, who score off the back of a Josh Gaspari pile driver that came back off the upright. Daniel Barrett was alertest, quickest to it, controlled it on his chest and stabbed it homewards. And Gungahlin now have a priced advantage. The 10 men hit the front. It's Gungahlin 1, Belconnen 0. Lee Gaskin.
Oh, what a goal. That has just changed the whole complexion of this final, Russ. Obviously, what a strike from Josh Gaspari. Nice and flat, hit the post, and Daniel Barrett, the man on the spot in the right position, nods at home, and don't the Gungahlin fans just absolutely love that? The entire bench celebrating there on the sideline with 10 men. Can they hang on now for the next, 17 or 18 minutes we have of extra time?
Well, we'll see Belconnen, I guess, going for broke right now. They're 1-0 down. Who would have thought that when Reagan Walsh was sent off? The ball into the area, Green clears it. And it's out of play for a throw-in on the far side. And the fans and the bench emptied there, and Gungahlin ecstatically happy now. Can Belconnen come back? Patient build-up. Looking for a ball into the area, which Green volleys away. It's going to fall for Callum Beaton. Dinks it into the air, and Green wins it again. Thumps the header away. Anywhere will do right now. Here's Blackley under pressure from Habtemariam, who leaves one in on the centre back there. And Jeremy Habtemariam is going into the book as well. Another yellow card for Belconnen. For Gungahlin, I should say. The fourth of the match. To go with the red for Reagan Walsh. And a little bit naughty that from Jeremy Habtemariam. Lee left his foot in there on Jack Blackley.
Yeah, a bit of a tough one there. Obviously a very solid bit of defence there from Habtemariam, but we'll see what Belconnen can do with this free kick.
Yeah, but possibly the last chance of the first half of extra time. Remember, we switch around pretty quickly for the start of the second period. Here's Blackley lifting it up towards Valeri, who heads it onwards. Gerbisher gets a foot in, but it's a high foot. The flag's up on this near side. But it was one heck of a strike from Josh Gaspari when the ball broke on the edge of the penalty area. He absolutely mullered it goalwards. Crashed back off the upright, and Daniel Barak showing just why he's up there as a number 9, poaching from close range to prod it into the empty net. Nothing that Adam Parakovic could do about it. And Gungahlin have the lead. Here's Denham. Callum Beaton wins the header, and it's out down to this near side for a throw. Nathan Tidmarsh will take it. No rush for Nathan Tidmarsh until Luke Withell tells him to get on with it. Barak, the goal scorer, wins the header, and it's going to be a corner. It came off of a combination of Blackley and Beaton. And Claudio Canosa's sending Kamara and Green forward again. He's not happy with just the one. He thinks they might need a second to make this secure. Interestingly, the first time they've actually swung a corner in that wasn't at head height this time, it was a very flat one, and they've got a reward.
Well, that's right. I've been talking about the height of Kamara and Green at these corners and giving them a good sort of target to aim at, and then it was that sort of low one which they capitalised on.
Well, Murray's over this dead ball as well. He's got Barak very short, but I think they're going to go into the penalty area, and it's a decent looking one towards Kamara on the far post. Parakovic this time plucks it out the air and bowls it out underarm, and here come Belconnen on a quick break looking for a runner. And it is a runner out wide. It's Mukevsky, I think, who's still going, looking for a ball in towards Kemp, and it was almost a beautifully weighted pass, just a little bit too far forward for David Kemp as we're into stoppage time at the end of the first half of extra time. Barak back towards Tim Marsh and is charged down as far as Beaton, who swings it forward. Valeri helps it on its way, and Gungahlin can bring it clear. Dominici back to Muscaratelli, who thumps it up into the night sky, deep into the Belconnen half, where Blackley picks it up. And there's the half-time whistle in extra time, Lee. It's 1-0 to Gungahlin, and they hold the upper hand.
Oh, you can just hear the Gungahlin fans absolutely going off. They know they've only got 15 minutes now to hold on and get themselves into the FFA Cup in what would be an amazing accomplishment in the club's first season.
Yeah, there'd be a fairy tale story if they managed to do so. The goal coming towards the end of the first period of extra time there. Josh Kaspari's shot crashing back off the post and turned in from close range by Daniel Barak. Of course, we have a 30-second swap over here at half-time. And it's the white-shirted Gungahlin who are 15 minutes away from a dream place in the Westfield FFA Cup round of 32. Who would have thought it this time last year, when the club wasn't even in existence as an NPL outfit, that they would be this close to mixing it with the big one, a big time, and the opportunity to play an A-League club. So Gungahlin start extra time. Belconnen are nothing if not resilient, and they have enough quality to get back into this. They just need to create that opening. And Gungahlin will be counting down the seconds, I think, Lee, till the end of this one. Here's Beaton out wide, looking for a pass forward towards Ugrinik. Twisting and turning Ugrinik again, looking to find his way past a couple of Gungahlin players, and he does so and wins his team a throw. Looked very lively, Jason Ugrinik. Of course, Belconnen have no changes to make. They've made all three of them. And Danny Krakic has been warming up for quite some time over there on the far side. Here's Van Meurs. Square ball, Beaton. Now Nolan. And Ugrinik hugging the touchline. Back to Nolan again. And Beaton. Patient build-up, but there's a toe in there from Murray. Here's a chance. What an opportunity this could be. It's 3-on-3 at the moment. The ball is just rolled into the path of Jeremy Haptamariam from Barak. No real urgency to get any players forward from Gungahlin as Haptamariam, and the move peters out, and that's disappointing for the Gungahlin players, officials and supporters. It was an opportunity, but they didn't seem to have the legs to do so. Gerbischer, now he's moved forward noticeably at the start of this second period of extra time. And his pass, though, is wayward, and here's Dominici. And his battle with Taylor Beaton. Dominici's still going, but he's going to run that one out of play, and he looks a bit knackered as well. They all do. Taylor Beaton's got cramp, and he's trying to see himself through. Here's Callum Beaton. Every second precious for Belconnen. Headed clear by Green. Taylor Beaton picks it up. He's dropped a bit deeper, and they've gone with three at the back, and Matt Gerbish has moved into midfield, adding that extra body. Will it pay dividends? Here's Mukeski. Out wide for Van Meurs. Mukeski again. They just can't find a way through this white wall of Gungahlin defenders. And they get a free kick here, some 30 metres out, centre of goal, but you'd have to say, Lee, that defensive line is pretty strong for Gungahlin. Is going to get even stronger now because despite Danny Krakic warming up for ages, it's Liam Walsh who got sent off here in round one of the competition, who's going to come on, and it looks like he's going to replace Stephen Dominici, who's in no rush to get off at the moment.
You're right, Russ. Gungalin's defence has been fantastic the entire game, but obviously with only 12 minutes now of extra time to go, obviously they've got plenty of motivation to hold tough for the remaining time, knowing if they can do that, they'll be into the FFA Cup round of 32.
So Stephen Dominici is coming off the rapturous reception. It's Liam Walsh, a screening midfielder. He loves a tackle or two, does Liam Walsh. As I mentioned, he was the one that was involved in the contretemps with Ugrinik in the first game of the season here, which saw him banned for quite some time for an alleged headbutt. But here's Ugrinnik lining this one up. Can he pull something out of the bag here? Jason Ugrinnik over the wall, but it's not going to dip quite in time. And Jason Denham saw that one away, and the minutes tick away. Just over 12 to go in the FFA Cup final. Can Belconnen find a way back?
Gee, it's going to take something special, isn't it, Russ? We haven't seen too many chances from them in extra time. It's been all Gungahlin. So they're going to have to work their magic and try and make the most of this one-man advantage that they've got by spreading Gungahlin wide and really finding the holes in that midfield and then defence.
Isn't it remarkable? It seems to be the only sport in the world where if you lose a player, that it makes no difference to the atmosphere, and it gives you an opportunity. Any other sport, you lose a player and pretty much the game's done. Here's Ugrinnik running into space. And he'll win a throw, which Blackley goes across. You couldn't see it happening in Union or League, could you? A team with a player down for a good 60 minutes or so would... or whatever it was, 40 minutes or so, would probably lose the match.
Oh, no chance at all, but Gungahlin have been really smart, you know. They've, obviously moved players back, timed their runs to perfection, and then taken their opportunities when they've had them.
And they defended brilliantly, led by Jack Green, and he plays that ball out towards Barak, whose goal at the moment is going to win the Westfield FFA Cup qualifying final for Gungahlin and give them that place in the round of 32.
Green has bursted forward here. It's a great run by the central defender, but just putting some pressure on the Adam Parakovic.
Yeah, I'm not sure that Claudia Canosa and Mitch Stevens would like to see their centre-back that far up the field at this stage of the game, because Belconnen can break, and they can break quickly. Here's Mukeski, but Green putting in a shift to get back. Here's Beaton on halfway. Needs to pick his team up by the scruff of the neck. Blackley. Callum Beaton. Ball bounces around the penalty area here into all the way through to Gaspari.
There's a few nervous moments there, Russ. It could have gone absolutely anywhere.
His pass is loose to Taylor Beaton. Ball prodded forwards, and it's going to be picked up by Gaspari. Now the break could be on again here. Habtemariam's up with him. He's got Barak going forward, and Gaspari just tries to send chip Parakovic, I think, from about 45 metres, which what's another word for overly ambitious.
That's an outrageous shot from Josh Gaspari. That would have been not just one of the goals of the season, one of the goals of the decade.
It would have been absolutely stunning.
Would have shown some great techers to get that.
Yeah, but it was, let's be honest, it was nowhere near. So, but it wasted a few seconds, which I think is probably what it needed to do. There's 9 minutes to go for Gungahlin. Belconnen are pushing. There's a lot of Belconnen fans out there watching and in the stand here praying and hoping their team can find an equaliser. Van Meurs nutmegs Kaspari and Walsh. It's out for a throw-in, and Jack Green will wander across. He's in no rush to take this, and I think we'll see a lot of this. Gungahlin just trying to make it a little bit slow everything down as far as they can. Mukeski wins a header. Habtemariam just smashes it forward. Parakovic playing as a sweeper. Heads it forward. Here we come again, Belconnen. They're going to... I think the stall is set for the final 10 minutes, Lee. I think Belconnen are going to have lots of possession, and Gungahlin just happy to hit them on the break and get rid of it as far as they can.
You can see that bust in the Gungahlin defence, Russ. It's parked. It's not moving anywhere. It's set for the next 10 minutes.
It is. Is that going to be enough? Can Belconnen prise the door open? Ugrinnik looking to stretch the field by playing wide. Chance perhaps to lift it into the penalty area, and here's an opportunity on the far post.
Oh, that was a good chance, Wes, wasn't it? That was a great opportunity for Belconnen right there.
Moscaratolo doing enough just to put off Goran Mukeski. A little bit of a nudge as it came over, shoulder to shoulder, just to let the forward know that he wasn't going to get a free header in, and Gungahlin survived that attack. I'm sure there'll be plenty more with 8 minutes to go. 20 more Belconnen attacks. Here's Barak. Gaspari. Gerbischer comes across, wins the tackle, but Gaspari bounces off him, tries to go past Blackley, who's been a rock at the back there, actually. He's had a great game, Jack Blackley.
We're talking about man of the matches, Russ. Who are you leaning towards right now?
I think Blackley and Gerbischer have been outstanding for Belconnen, despite them being 1-0 down. They've been absolutely brilliant. For Gungahlin, it's difficult to look past Daniel Barak's hard work, and he's got the goal. And of course, Shane Murray prompting in midfield as well, and Jack Green. So any one of those five, and I think you'll have a man of the match. But I don't have to pick it, you do.
I think the other one I thought I saw, Heggie was really good for Belconnen in his stint, but I think those 5 players that you just mentioned, I think any of those would be deserving winners.
Yeah, well, you can pick one in about 6 minutes' time, Lee. So we'll see how we go. It's a corner. Lots could happen between now and then as Mukeski swings this one in, and it's punch clear by Denham, and Liam Walsh with his first meaningful contribution is to hoik it up towards halfway. Taylor Beaton. His pass is sloppy though, and here's Jeremy Habtemariam now. Liam Walsh has got plenty of legs. He's only just come on. There's 3 up in this attack. He's in no real rush to do anything with it though, Liam Walsh. and rather sensibly goes back to Gaspari. And Muscaratello's a bit short, and Gerbischer comes in. And Blackley wins it, but his touch is poor as well. Now here's Tidmarsh. Barak pulled wide. He's one-on-one with Callum Beaton. Heading towards the corner. A bit too early for that, I think, Daniel. 7 minutes to go, running into the corner. It's ambitious to think he's going to hold it up there for 7 minutes.
Yeah, but it does take valuable seconds off the clock, Russ. Like you said, it's still 7 minutes to go. But a smart play, and also I thought from Liam Walsh to go back to his defence rather than sort of turn the ball over needlessly in attack. Probably the right play for Gungahlin at this time.
We'll throw into the area. Here's Barak. Back to Tidmarsh. They're quite happy to keep possession. Here's Murray. Tidmarsh again. Swings it in towards Barak. Great touch, Daniel Barak. May have swung his boot at it, but sensibly heads towards the corner. And gives it away to Callum Beaton, who goes up the line to McKeskey. Belconnen will want to make sure they don't go out with a whimper. They'll want to push forward and try and get this equalising goal. Here's Beaton. Now Van Meers. Ugrinik. Van Meers again. Left-footed, looking for the runner, and it's a good run too of Connor Nolan, and it's headed out by Nathan Tidmarsh, who goes down with cramp. And it's a corner, and Claudio wants his trainer on. Would you send your trainer on here, Lee? It's right in the edge of the penalty area, and they're defending a corner. So
I think if I was Claudio Canosso, I'd definitely send my trainer on right now and milk as many seconds as I possibly could.
Bear in mind, then one of their defenders needs to come off, and they'll be defending with 9. If he gets treatment, it doesn't look like he's going to need treatment. He'll hobble on through for the final 4.5 minutes of the final. Here's McKeskey, swings it in towards the penalty area. It's going to bounce around, and the whistle goes. A foul on Jason Denham by Matty Gerbischer. And time is running out for Belconnen United in their dream of reaching the Westfield FFA Cup round of 32. Luke Withers getting a card out, and Matt Valeri has talked himself into a yellow card. The substitute, he's had a couple of words with Luke Withers throughout the match, and Luke Withers had enough of that. And it's a free kick to Belconnen. More seconds tick away, under 4 minutes between Gungahlin United and a fairy tale place in the Westfield FFA Cup round of 32. Jason Denham's taking the free kick, taking his time as well, and sending it forward, looking for the only target he's got, which is Barak. And Tidmarsh just sends that down the line, looking for the run of the man whose goal separates the two teams. Scored in extra time. Here's Gerbischer. And Barak just sends that ball out of the grounds, just boots it out of the grounds, wasting as much time as they can now. Leahy just take a left foot swing at that and just spanked it onto the highway.
Probably the sort of play we'll see in these last few dying minutes here from Gungahlin Russ. Just keen to get the ball out of play, milk as much clock as possible, and reset their defence to try and keep out the Blue Devils as they push forward for that equaliser.
Well, Ugrinik looks to take on Muscaratello, and across comes Liam Walsh with a strong challenge. There's 3 minutes to go. Can Belconnen United find a way back into this? Van Meers with the throw-in. Kemp's left him a bit short, and Gaspari gets in, and the ball is helped clear, and it's out of play for a throw-in to Belconnen. Van Meers will take it as time is ticking away into the penalty area, headed down by Muscaratello, back towards McKeskey. Swings a glorious looking ball into the air, and that's a good piece of defending by Tidmarsh, and cleared by Muscaratello, but he's only hoiked it into the air. And that's a thumping challenge from Van Meers, and it's broken towards the penalty area. And the touch from Matt Valeri takes it into the hands of Jason Denham, who just launches it forward. It's Barak against Blackley, and Barak just leaves it for Jack Blackley with 2 minutes plus stoppage time to go. Time not on the side of the Blue Devils. Here's Blackley bursting forward. The 10 men, remember, reduced to 10 men following the sending off of Reagan Walsh. Gaspari concedes the free kick for a soft tackle on Van Meurs, and McKeskey comes across to take it. Belconnen supporters here, the Gungahlin supporters rather not happy with that decision. And McKeskey will take it on the whistle. 1 minute remaining. Last chance saloon, you'd think, for Belconnen United. Goran McKeskey, they did it in the grand final. Can they do it again on this stage? It's a wicked free kick into the penalty area. Jack Green, who was involved in that momentous occasion, gets rid of it again. He's been a colossus at the back for Gungahlin as we tick over into the final minute of time. Canosa wants the whistle already. He's got at least 60 seconds plus stoppage time to go. And there'll be maybe a minute or two of that to play. But Gungahlin are so close, they can touch it. Beaton to his brother Taylor Beaton. Have they got something left in the tank? McKeskey, Taylor Beaton again. Clips it forward towards Valeri, but it's won by Moscaratolo. Here's McKeskey lifting it over the top, and Jason Denham's got it. And Gungahlin are so close. 15 seconds of normal extra time to go, plus stoppage time. Here's Blackley. Belconnen have it. They literally have seconds to do something. Blackley finds Callum Beaton in acres of space. Everybody in a white shirt, bar Barrack, is back on the edge of their penalty area. Out wide. Ball in towards the box. Up goes Valeri. Kamara wins it. Heads it away. It comes out for Blackley, who brought down by Hassan Kamara in a free kick. 30 metres out. Lee, this is it.
Oh, this is huge, Russ. This is huge. This is the moment Belconnen can strike. We must be in the final minute of the game.
We are. We're into stoppage time at the end of extra time. There is literally no time left to play, just except what Luke Withell has on his watch. Goran McKeskey's over this. He's got a wicked right foot shot. We know he can belt it a goal from this distance, even if he can hit the target and make Denham make a save. This could pay dividends. It's McKeskey, possibly the last chance. Smashes it over the wall, and it's over the crossbar and away. And that could be enough for Gungahlin United. Luke Withell, I think, said there was 1 minute to go. I think he raised one finger, which will be 32 minutes, which will be about right. Jason Denham's got the ball and a goal kick, and Gungahlin United, they're so close. There's going to be a card again here. Denham spanks it forward. Barak controls it. This expensively assembled crew are moments away from a place in the Westfield FFA Cup as Barak gets hold of it. Beaton's back to challenge him. He'll go down towards the corner. Beaton gets a foot in, but it's a Gungahlin throw. And that could do it. About 30 seconds, I think, to go in stoppage time. Gungahlin obviously in no hurry to take this throw. Nathan Timmarsh is across there. He will take it and throw it down towards the corner, towards where Barak is, but Beaton comes across and it's another throw in. Gungahlin United on the back of that goal by Daniel Barak in extra time could be on their way to the national stage. Luke Withell blows for a free kick for Belconnen. This is surely the last chance. They're right down in their own corner, though, as you can see. And here comes Beaton. They'll need to get it up this end very, very quickly indeed. Burst of energy from Taylor Beaton to Benjamin Van Meurs. Left-footed. Can he find a runner? He looks for Mukesky. Kamara comes across. No foul will be what Gungahlin want here. Here's Ugrinik. Great touch. Bursting into the penalty area. Jason Ugrinik still going. Into the box. Still going. Pulls it back. Kemp shoots. Hits the post. And just wide of goal. Unbelievable scenes. And the whistle goes. And Gungahlin United are into the Westfield FFA Cup round of 32 in dramatic circumstances. Lee right at the death there. Belconnen almost stole it with Kemp shot off the post. What a dramatic ending to the match.
You couldn't write the script, Russ. That was just wow. Just wow. Gungahlin players are just, oh, we've got a bit of a fracas here.
Yeah, there's one or two players
together.
Not happy with each other. Bit of push and shove in there. We'll wait and see what this results. Not what we wanted to see at the end of the game, but Lee, how on earth has that hit the inside of the post and not gone in?
Oh, unbelievable, Russ. I thought the rebound could have gone anywhere. I thought there might have been a Belconnen player close to that. But yeah, David Kemp, I think it was, who pulled the trigger. Could have gone in, could have sent the game to extra time. Stays out. Gungahlin win, move through the FFA Cup.
Unbelievable scenes at the end there. There was obviously one or two of the Gungahlin players let Belconnen know what they felt about winning, and I think the Belconnen guys weren't too happy with what happened there at the end. We'll keep an eye on this as we just wrap up what we've seen today, Leah. Incredible effort from Gungahlin United with 10 players, having Reagan Walsh sent off to actually carry on and get a result.
Look, the heart and the desire of that team can't be questioned. Everyone talked about it. Obviously, they were brought together in the off-season from various clubs, but for them to grind out that game after having Regan Walsh sent off with 15 minutes to go shows a lot about what this club is about and what the players are about to pull through. And they're rewarded with a spot in the round of 32, which is a great reward for Gungahlin United.
Yeah, remarkable ending as well. David Kemp's shot, for all intents and purposes, looked like it was going in. It struck the inside of the post, and I don't know how it stayed out, but all the Gungahlin United players out there put in a real shift tonight, as did Belconnen United. It was a tight match, decided by that one goal from Daniel Barak, and what a fizzer from Josh Gaspari, though, which came back off the post and almost went in, but there we have it. It's Gungahlin United who will go on to represent Canberra in the ACT in the Westfield FFA Cup qualifying, Westfield FFA Cup round of 32. I'd like to thank Lee Gaskin of the Canberra Times for his expert comments tonight. I've been Russ Gibbs, the Media and Communications Manager for Capital Football. We'll probably keep the pictures on for the presentation now. You can watch that and see Gungahlin get their trophy that they've won via the goal scored by Daniel Barak in extra time. The final result in the Westfield FFA Cup qualifying final, after extra time, it's Belconnen United 0, Gungahlin United 1. Welcome to the podcast presentation. And joining on the call today, we have first of all the president of Capital Football, Mark O'Neill. We have the next director of Capital Football, Richard Konsky, and acting CEO, Sam Belmont. First of all, referee Luke Little. Presenting the trophies for the referees, Richard Little. System referee 2 and foul. And for official overall.
That's what fell off. How did you go for the goal to give a hit post? You're going to know that last, so Eppy's shot went to the left post and the right post. Oh, and then out, so hit both posts.
Your looks not right, your looks not right.
Oh, mate, you can't buy that, can you?
I think Gungahlin deserves it, though.
Well, with 10 men to put in that shit, it's pretty impressive.
Well, yeah, the first half,
And along presenting trophies to the runners-up, Federation Cup runner this year. I'd like to ask the captain of Belconnen, Regan team, to come and say a few words. corner. Number 1, Adam Hurakovic. Number 20, Ben Jackson. Number 2, Cameron Reinhardt. Number 3, Benjamin Van Meurs. Number 16, Matthew Professor. Number 17, Jack Lackley. Number 4, David Peck. Number 14, Carla Beaton. Number 7, Taylor Beaton. Number 6, David Arant. Number 8, Connor Nolan. Number 9, Goran Lukevsky. Number 10, Jason Greenwich. Number 11, Asosa Ehegi. And number 5, Matthew Valeri. And head coach, Dean Greenwich. And now congratulations to Gungahlin United, 2015 Federation Cup winners and ACC representative in the Westfield
We don't have access to get on the field for interviews, do we?
Sorry?
We don't have access to get on the field for interviews, do we?
I mean, look, I could run down with this, I suppose. Although,
If it's too much hassle, don't worry about it.
I need to find, well, I have to find a camera. Oh, I can stop.
Just don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
No. Well, I don't have audio for this anyway.
It's okay.
Because we never patched it in.
Presenting the medals to the winners, the president of Capital Corporal Mark O'Neill. Number 1, Jason Denham. Number 20, Costa Fallas. Number 2, Alex Coscaritolo. Number 4, Jack Green. Number 5, Nathan Timmer. Number 14, Leon Walsh. Number 6, Stephen Dominici. Number 8, Shane Murray. Number 10, Josh Gaspari. Number 9, Daniel Barrett. Number 11, Jeremy Hattonarium. Number 17, Michael John. Number 12, Danny Kretitic. And number 13, Hassan Kamara. And the head coach, Radio Canosa. I'm sorry. Number 7, Regan Roach. Sorry, Regan, well done. And now we ask the president of Capital Football to present the trophy to the captain of Gungahlin Juventus. Gungahlin United, I think it was. Gungahlin United, and we look forward to joining the Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tonight's match. We hope you enjoyed the game. Thank you for your attendance. So take care when leaving